Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Malt and Magic Campaign 2, the Planar Detective Agency, where tonight's episode sees our heroes charting their course after a somewhat crucial victory. Freed from that icy grasp of the Fey Lord of Winter, Callum is now safe. But the shadow of the Shrouded Lord's corruption still looms very much largely over the realm. So with a moment to breathe now, our party turns to strategizing their next critical moves. And tonight they will very much potentially gather aboard the sturdy decks of the Ebb and Mirth, or within the tavern, or wherever they decide to do it, but plot a return to places they have previously visited. It presents a time for tying up loose ends and reconnecting with allies and then mapping the road ahead. And key to those discussions is a check-in with one Mara Blackveil, whose insights into recent events I'm sure will be invaluable. And together they'll explore options and prepare for that daunting task of confronting whatever lies deep within the Crystalline Isle when they eventually get there. So what strategies will emerge from those crucial discussions? How will past decisions influence the future? Join us as our adventurers delve into detailed planning and alliance forging, I think is the plan for tonight. Very much a night of preparation and reflection, setting the stage for their journey back to wherever. Do not miss a moment of action as the party readies themselves for the next stage. With that being said, content warnings as always do apply. This is a very adult stream. There may be themes that are not suitable for everyone, and if you are struggling at any moment, then please take that moment to step out and rejoin us at a more suitable time. There will of course always be a lot of adult language and adult humour as well. So you have been warned. Let's roll.
Oh, bloody hell.
Oh,
fucking hell.
There we go. What a behind-the-scenes conversation that was as well. There we go. The party is back. So, yes, thank you for joining us once again. Last week, of course, we did our first episode of Monster of the Week with Dave in the GM's chair, or GM's chair. So, well done for that again, Dave. It is awesome. If you've not caught it, it's now available on YouTube and on podcast.
I was so delighted that I wasn't actually GMing or keepering tonight. I actually, it was like I sipped a bottle, not a whole bottle. I sipped a whiskey, enjoying the fact I wasn't going to be it.
I think there was a Freudian slip. There was definitely a bottle gone before the show.
No, it's still here, thank
you. What you can't see off screen, folks, is there's just a straw. Oh, very good. Yes, so tonight there will be a few things going on because I do, unfortunately, need to pop out for 15 to 20 minutes at around about 8 o'clock. So I will disappear, leaving the stream in the capable hands of the four gentlemen that sort of star alongside me here. And yes, I believe I actually put the reins on Danny to keep us on track. So
we're going to finish this campaign in 20 minutes when he's gone. Going to skip straight to the end.
Very good. Yeah. Lex makes a wish spell and everything's sorted. Very good. Let's run down our lineup. So yes, lineup. I am Matt. I am your Dungeon Master. I will also be playing the sidekick characters of Callum, Takami, anybody else these fuckers decide to pick up on the way. and whatever
Cog,
monsters and NPCs
Mace,
they may encounter as well. Cog, Mace, yeah, all of them. Mara, yeah.
Let's try and take as many of them with us as we can.
We do, absolutely. Hi, I am Dave, and I'm playing Jewel of Shadows, the female Tabaxi rogue who, well, everyone had a bit of a task in last episode, and yeah, let's see if that emboldens her abilities.
Hello, and I'm Danny, and I'll be playing Lex Ordo, the UNT Sorcerer? Sorcerer? Fucking hell. As I look behind the curtain, the reason Matt's disappearing for 20 minutes is he's going for an enema. He has one every 6 weeks to keep himself fresh.
Coffee, I believe.
Yeah. Yep. That's on the
Thanks
internet
for
now, Matt.
putting that on the internet. Yeah, thank you.
You're in a safe space, dude. It's fine. I am Tom, the father half of Homie and the Dude, and I'm playing Cavan Buckland, a human barbarian / paladin. And Danny, just a pro tip: we could jump on some great eagles and fucking fast track this all the way to fucking Mordor.
Yes.
We're on a fucking skyship.
I feel like
just
Matt's going to mute my mic before he leaves, and then I can't say a single word.
Oh no, the stream went down for 15 minutes.
What is up, everyone? I'm Bodhi, the son half of Homie and the Dude, and I'm playing Edgius Bones Jones, your bard sorcerer. And I have it noted down 12 minutes, 11 seconds in, Danny reveals that Matt gets enemas to be clipped. And I'm excited for that one to go around the internet.
I might as well just own it, to be fair. Whether it's true or not.
You might as well start
Roll
getting
with
now.
it,
Because
who knows?
Just start giving recommendations and and 5-star plans to everything.
What I love about all of us is that literally, whether it's 3 minutes in, 5 minutes in, 24 minutes in, 2 hours in, we always get an ass joke in there somewhere.
I guess.
When you say we, does that
And
mean...
it's the return of the colonic.
Oh god, yeah.
Very good. So, that being said, yes, you have all now rescued Callum, and the final bit that sort of happened towards the end of last session was you did go back up to the Barracks and Skydocks, having drunk a lot in the Owl's Hearth, and my only impression of Cavan being, it's fucking Callum, for literally about 2 hours, so I apologise for that, Tom.
That was good.
Yes,
really
you
good.
then made your way... But I'll claim that one. So yes, made your way back up to the Barracks and Skydocks, where you, Jewel and Lex especially, came across a familiar sight, although slightly changed in the fact that the Ebon Mirth, the skyship that you had used to get yourself from Thaylissa to Agruz and Zumkar and that sort of Gildornian region, fucking hell, was now sort of docked, whatever you want to say, in the Barracks and Skydocks, and you came across one Vala Zeth the ship's gunner, and were escorted back onto the Ebon Mirth as Romeo also sort of descended down from a rope, but you made your way back on, seeing that there'd been some rather ornate outfittings to the ship now, some golden elements or brass elements, just some nice gentle touches to the ship to make it look even more regal. And yes, sort of met the crew, or re-met the crew, and you were making your way onto the ship. So, from that point, that is where we will begin. However, it is also in these moments, and having had a long rest, that you all realise that you left the Fey Wild with more than you went in with, shall we say. Having successfully mastered your trials, it seems that there were more gifts given to you by the Lord of Winter. So everybody has got a brand new feat that has been added to their character sheet.
Oh, it's so very cool.
So yes, all of which reflect the successes in those trials, or at least what you went through for those trials. So, as you all enter onto the ship, then, what are we doing?
Don't all speak at once.
Don't all jump at once.
That's, I mean,
As we left it, Bodhi was eyeing up Edgius was eyeing up all the mana stones to fucking try and steal.
No.
They were
I
priceless.
think you were right the first time.
Sure. Edgius will be walking around the ship and will be doing what looks like routine checks of like ensuring that ropes are tied down, that there's any sort of sails are like taut, all this kind of stuff. But he has no fucking idea what any of it does, means, or how it works. But he's going around. He's like, that's a good knot, sir. And he's like patting some of the crew on the back, and he's like, feel safe in your hands, as he's like walking around and just kind of getting the lay of the land a little bit.
I imagine at this point, Romeo Lightswift, the captain of the Evermirth, leans into Jewel and Lex and just sort of, so do we need to discuss the whole walking skeleton thing? Like, that's really confusing me. Why does he not know what a good luck looks
forget.
like?
I do forget. This is normal for us now. Have you never seen anybody like him before?
I mean, I've seen plenty of walking skeletons. I just usually put either Vala puts a bullet through their skull, or I chop them down with a rapier, or those sorts of things.
It's not like Jason and the Argonauts type situation. No, he's a good guy.
It is not necessary to
Jason
shoot
and
him.
who?
I mean, not always.
It's a story from Zumkar. You should know. Sorry, I learned it while we were there.
Oh,
that is a good knot, young sir. I am. Oof, golly. Look, out, and round. Golly.
Don't worry about him. It is all bluster. I think he's very interested in the shiny gems on the side of the ship. Don't worry, we have an eye on him.
As you say this, Edgius leans over the side of the ship and looks on the far side of the bow, and then leans back over.
As you look down to these gemstones, they are twice the size of you in both height and width. Like, they are massive.
God, that's so much. That's like generations of wealth.
Reaching over the edge of the ship, when he reaches back, I kind of get him in a rear naked choke, and I say, "Hey, fuckface, how you doing?"
Edgius, with no neck, no aorta, no windpipe, turns and his head like rotates on the spot to face you as his body stays facing the other way. And he's like, "Sup, fuckface? How's it going?"
Dude, I wasn't the one that
must be like
sprinted away. I wasn't the one that sprinted away and didn't leave a message or a sign or anything. I'm just checking in, homie.
Oh, yeah, that old thing. Yeah, I mean, like, shit was fucked, and I guess I haven't apologized. Guys, I'm sorry.
Dude.
Jewel. Sorry, guys, I forgot earlier.
Romeo's going to read the room at this point and go, I think you all need a room, so head downstairs.
Romeo, thank you so much. Are you by any chance for charter? Is this a possibility? We are looking to head away quite soon.
Yeah, we're looking to disembark in the next day.
Last time, are you paying this time or what?
Absolutely.
Then yes.
Yeah. And it's not going to be life or death this time. It's going to be pretty placid, I would say.
I believe the first bit about paying, that bit, absolutely fucking nuts.
I didn't believe it either. I have to admit, Lex, that was a little on the a bit of an assumption.
Yeah. I think we got a bit of debriefing to do. I think we got a bit ahead of ourselves. If we could use a private room, that would be good. But and then we have to leave and go get some more intel before we leave on the ship, if that's okay. But we wouldn't mind leaving this evening or later today, tomorrow.
Sure. I'll have a contract drawn up.
By the way,
and then looks over at Vala, and you go.
By the way, the ship looks very regal. You have done well recently. That business with the associate we found, going well?
let's just
He's dead,
say
isn't he?
what happened in Zumkar with Rashid paid off.
Wonderful.
Does that mean you're more expensive now?
I
We
elbow
can have a chat.
I elbow Edgius, and I say, "Looks like last episode of Pimp My Ride. Am I right? Am I right?" And I elbow him again.
As there's a
you know
fish
what?
tank and a PlayStation 5 in the corner.
They really have upgraded.
The gems are actually spinning, yeah.
Right. Look at this. Have you ever you ever
Like on a ship? No. In my dreams, yes, but like, no, I haven't. I guess you just,
Me neither.
you kind of just, dude.
the
You
only
know what you
time
do?
I've like flown, it's been more like falling with style, you know.
Yeah, I reckon we just fucking fake it. Just act like you're. I mean, I saw you doing the knot. Where did you learn how to do that?
Oh, Edgius leans in. I have no fucking idea about knots. I wanted them to think that, like, you know, like I was like, it would maybe help Lex and Jules like bargaining if it looks like we're sailors and we could contribute something. So I was just trying to like support the team and hopefully getting the price down because maybe we could help out on the ship. You get me? But yeah, many years of tying knots. Many years, all the knots, every knot, the choking type, the tying type, the holding things
Edgius,
type,
we have a room. It is probably best we go and have a quick chat.
Yeah.
Oh,
As everyone
You
thinks
see
you're about those
Vala
bondage knots,
sort of
rather
turn
than actual
around,
tailing knots.
look towards Edgius, and just be like... and then you notice as she wanders off,
Good day to
Callum
you.
follows very closely.
Put it in your pants.
He's going to try and get to third base.
I mean, I get it.
So you...
Callum.
Not
I
now,
know you've
darling,
been
I'm
frozen.
busy.
I know
Go
you've
and
been
have your
frozen for a
conversation.
while, but okay, I was going to invite you to the conversation, Callum. It's all good.
He'll be able to have a conversation because Matt won't be there.
Hence Callum's disappearing right now. With that being said, then you all descend down into what is now a fully refurbished sort of lower deck, if you like. The kitchen where you see Semphra, one of the Minotaurian sort of deckhands, if you like, is in there just prepping. But you then are shown by Romeo to what had previously been your guest room, and where previously there were hammocks, there are now beds and full-on bunks and chests to place your items in. It is a fully furnished guest quarters that will sleep around about 6 people.
Oh, yeah, fire, sir. Yes,
I,
this is a
Probably
very
the
nice
fun
room.
place to stay there.
I jump into one
Yeah,
of the
Rashid
like.
was really happy we rescued him.
I'm not
Anyway,
surprised.
I'll leave you to your conversation. I need to... I've got stuff to do. You've got stuff to talk
Yeah,
about.
you got to draw up a contract for us. Make it.
Indeed.
With words and stuff.
Indeed. So yeah, with that being said, I'll leave you to it. And with that being said, I will also leave you to it for the next sort of 15, 20 minutes. So I will be back in a little bit.
Will it be
Leaving it
cancelled
in
by the time you get back?
Safe hands.
That's all right. Awesome. Fantastic.
All the best.
Love you all. See you in a minute.
Yeah,
Thank
see ya.
you.
Oh, I didn't expect the view to change. That's messed with
you
my head.
see, yeah. Well, yeah, it is actually right in your face. I might sort that out, but, you know, if you're lucky.
I got a cog in my eye. I'll sit up straight.
Did Matt say Sempra, and that's the ship's chef?
She was the Minotaur ship hand, yeah.
Cool, awesome. That's who we're going to be
So,
asking. That's who I need to get
Odie,
close to
I
for
think
some
you were
food.
going to carry on the apology that you half-heartedly started up on deck about some stuff.
Oh,
Who's Bodie?
I
What the
did-
fuck are you talking about?
Shit, edges. I've done that loads of times.
look,
Fucking hell.
I neither look. I panicked. You know, and I think I feel like a fuck up 90% of the time, and that last one kind of pushed me to like 100% of the time, and I lost something of great value from that experience, but I gained some stuff from it as well. And I hope you guys know that, like, I think I understand my place in the group better for what happened. I get what my job is now. Like, and by the way, I didn't run away into the, like, I didn't run away. I did run away, but like not like away. I didn't know where I was going in the woods because it was the woods. You know what you get me?
Edge.
I understand you needed your mental space.
Yeah. And dude, just let me just say, like, I don't know, you want to term it being a fuck up, whatever you want to call it, but like, A, you're our fuck up. So just remember that.
Amen.
And B, whether you're 90% or 100% or whatever, we're all fuck ups. But somehow we're all still here. I got questions as well because I'm real confused on how the fuck I even got here. But like, part of it is just embracing the fact that, we kind of figure it out. We kind of all figure it out. So there's no use in running away because
It's
you know what I mean, dude?
Yeah, like I think I just feel bad type of way. I think the logic, when you say the words, it makes sense. Like, it all mathematically makes sense in my head. Like, Lex, I'm sure you get it. Like, logically it makes sense. But then the chaos of my emotions don't allow me to feel what you say as much, simply because I guess my head's not quite there yet. But I'm gonna work on it, and I promise, guys. Like, I'm gonna try and watch my mouth a little bit more. And like, did you see up on deck? I was like, I was making us. Yeah. I mean, like, you saw up on deck, like I was like helping the team, making sure that they knew that, like, we could be helpful on the ship. Like, I think I realized that, like, you guys are the important ones, and that my job is to make sure that we get to the objective, because, without Lex, there's no portals, and without Jules, really, where's the moral compass of this group? Let's be honest. And without Cavan's muscles, he's got the most. I don't know what you would call it, but like, the ability to get hit. And if that was put into a point system, then he would have the most. Do you know what I mean? And like, I just feel like my job is like being there to make sure that you guys are all like the badasses that you are, and support you guys. So all of that aside,
you really are the glue of this team. So please remember that. And like Kevin said, we are all fuck ups. We have all got our own mistakes, our own history. We all are helping each other and propping each other up.
And if our words don't sink in, clearly our actions must. We literally ran into the unknown blindly after you, which got to show what you mean to the group.
We ran into the forest to look for you.
We emotionally was tuned into you. We felt your anguish, and we ran head first into nothingness to find you. Which brings me on to my next point. We not only did we risk our lives to find you, and we failed because we didn't find you, the only thing we found was our own personal trauma, which goes back to Jules' point that we're all fuck ups, because I don't know if you know, but although I speak logic and I pretend to know I know what's going on all of the time, there's a chaos inside me that I've been suppressing for many years. And actually, through following you into the unknown, I become more attuned to that, and I'm at more at peace with myself, I suppose, and I have learned to embrace the chaos, and that is partly because of you, because you are the embodiment of human chaos for the most part, and I thank you for that. That came out wrong. That was supposed to sound sweet, and it came out like a backhanded insult.
Lex, it was very sweet, right? For you. I'm sure Edgius understands.
Nailed it.
Just on that point, I was gleaming from the Lord of the Frost. We were put through trials, and again,
Yeah.
I
all
think
did that,
we all
right?
saw a lot of horrible stuff from our past. Potentially, I do not know whether it was the same or different, but again, I hope that they all help you move on, and anything you saw, do not take it to heart if it is troubling you.
Well, I actually feel more at peace because it made me think about something I hadn't thought about in a long time. Actually, back when I was a child, before I went to Mechanus through a portal, I remembered that I was due to be a ritual sacrifice to the serpentine
What?
gods. Yeah, yeah.
Well,
I don't want to go over that detail a little bit. Yeah, I was due to be a sacrifice. I was saved somewhat by going into Mechanus, and but what happened is Mechanus put like a dampener in the back of my neck, not only to reattach my spine to my body, but also to dampen the chaos. And then obviously that was suppressed with logic magic and mechanical magic. But what I've learned is through remembering my family and my brother. Can you remember? God, it feels like years ago now. When we met that person and they were talking about a UNT ranger who helped them find somebody.
Yes.
I think that was my brother.
Really?
Yeah. Thinking
You-
about it, it makes sense.
You think they are alive?
Oh, well, my parents are probably too old to still be alive, and I assumed he was dead because, well, I don't know. I just assumed after all this time, but it makes sense for it to be him. It's just a wishful hunch at the moment, but thinking about him allowed me to embrace the chaos because I didn't always have this magic in me. I had untapped chaos that I couldn't control, but now I feel like I can control it and I can tap into it when I want to. With
So,
logic.
how do you feel? Obviously, you have for so long at your logical arcane abilities. How are you? I mean, Mechanus surely wants you with logical, or does he? I'm sorry, I'm making an assumption there.
Well, he some of the things he used to say to me about fate and the path I'm on, it always seemed to be different to everybody else in Mechanus, and maybe this is just my path. He talked about putting logic over chaos before, and it didn't really work. So maybe I'm just one of the successful experiments of his, actually, if I think about it.
If also you have
And
been able to learn how to control magic long enough so that you can now control chaos magic, the stronger you will gain with the chaotic abilities.
that's how I see it. And actually, if you think about it, ironically, it's the ultimate balance if I can control chaos.
Who
Yeah.
Lex? You said you're a little bit different to all the other people in Mechanus. That your whole thing is, like and you're different. And so would you say you were the only one that received a very different level of preaching from people who were kind of leading your people?
Yeah, because if you think about Cog, everybody is a variation of Cog. I had like an automaton friend called Axel, who was like my mentor, but he was purposely in humanoid form to make him seem more relatable to me when I first got there. Yeah, essentially, I was the odd one out the whole time. Everyone else is a mechanical machine.
I mean,
Lex,
you
I don't know what else. Like, you felt like you've taken out of whatever we want to call that fucking place, the Fey, the fucking hellhole, whatever we want to call it.
Yeah.
But the dude, you're more like, I don't know, like, it's more than just you're talking more. It's like you're thinking about stuff more. You're like reflecting more on, I don't know, you just seem a little bit different.
It is
If I was
certainly
to use a cliche, it's almost like my third eye has been opened, in a way.
it is definitely it makes a lot more sense what you speak about your past.
the downstairs eye is what I think he's talking about, Gavin.
The one in the back?
I'm
The
not
bum
sure if
chakra.
one of the eyes is downstairs.
The one
You
that
were
blinks
you were
every now and
definitely
again?
a robot, Lex. When I met you,
I know, right? Thinking back, it's quite embarrassing, actually. I'm surprised you
no.
actually continued to be my friend.
I
It must have
did
been
not
hard.
want to speak to anyone, and I hated magic. Why were you my friend? Come on.
Well, yeah, that's true. That's true.
By the way, I still don't, overly like it. It is useful.
We're bringing you round, Jewel. We're bringing you round.
But,
You're
well,
starting to
Exposure therapy, immersion therapy.
It is a little bit. I mean, look
Exposure
exactly what we have just seen. We have had magic help us, and we have had magic traumatize us. So, fair stick, I am in the same place I was before. It sucks.
So, did anybody else go for a therapy session while they were in there, or was it just me and Edgius?
Pretty much, but Edgius.
I was gonna ask Jewel, please share what happened with you. By the way, guys, can I just say, and I wish Takami was here to hear me say this, but apparently she's not because she's doing something else right now.
Having an enema.
I appreciate you all more than I can say in words. The fact that you all risked yourselves to dash into a magically haunted forest. I just for the first time I'm kind of speechless, but I appreciate it. My gratitude extends farther than my words.
We are not just the Planar Detective Agency. We are friends, and we look after each other.
Jewel, let's be honest. We've all seen Callum's dick. We're family at this point.
Well, yes. Or is it less weird to see someone, a friend's dick than a family's? I would say that's less weird. So, close friends, but not that
Six
close.
of one, half of
half of a penis of the other. What?
I will say though, what was when we were rescuing Callum and somebody asked us, why is it you want to rescue Callum so much? And I couldn't answer the question other than to say, because we gotta. He's ours. We need to get him back. We need to get him back other than we said we would. I mean, outside of the thing, he doesn't advance the plot in any way, shape or form. But back in character, he's our Callum. We'd never leave a man behind, right?
And that is it. That is the whole reason why
Other
we
than
went.
Mason Steinbach.
Yes, but he's doing a fabulous job, and he's keeping. I forgive me. I would prefer Mace to stay to secure my own village. That is entirely biased. Yeah. I realize, but of course, anything to help them. Yes, I seemingly, along with everyone else, was tricked by the Lord of Winter to show me dark deeds of my past. How I had failed my best friend, and I had been almost the one to push her into the quarry. All of these things were complete nonsense. Once I realized this, I was kind of scared because I thought it was like a mirror, the almost the other side of the coin of my village. But once I started to see these things, it became quite apparent when a darker version of myself started to attack me. I seemed to fairly quickly see through, and I think with the help of the Watcher, see through the illusion, see through the trickery, and I feel there is a possibility that, less is going to slip by my eye anymore. I do, however, want to also roll back once the rest of you speak. Kevin and Edgius possibly, I think you may have been the one to say, we really do need to work as a team on the field. And I hope I can... I was useless a mere few months ago. I hope I am stronger now, but only with the assistance of all of you. So yes, I hope I can bring something after our little trip. How was it for you two?
Kevin, you said you ran, but did you experience anything like what those guys experienced?
I actually didn't run, Edge. I didn't come after you. I ran in the other direction. I ran toward where we had just been, and man, I tried to let me just ask Lex a question real quick. Do we have any plans of going back there, like anytime?
And we probably will end up back there at some point. If Callum wants to get his father back, we said we would go back once we had defeated Klein and Shadowthorn, and he would give us Callum's father back. But I know the reason you want to go back, the promise you made to Aegeus, to get his memory back, right?
I turned to Aegeus and I try to kind of sweep over that a little bit because I know I don't want to even remind him of that. You know, I know it's there, but like I don't even want to make it overt that that's there. And I just say, yeah, unfinished business, Lex. Unfinished business. So when there's, any reason for one or more of us to go back, I'm volunteering first. I'll be first in line.
We will all go as a group. I just fear that. Forgive me. I as much as I would want to go straight back immediately, I think that right now it would be folly. I think we are undermatched. No. But
yeah, I'm not suggesting we go back now.
When the moment takes us, we are all there.
Yeah.
To keep Aegeus to shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Fair statement. Look, I would say this, Kevin. I appreciate you wanting to go.
Aegeus. This is more for me. It's more for me than it is for you. Just please let me have this.
Well then let me say this. And Aegeus pulls out a piece of paper from his pocket and unrolls it. At the top of the piece of paper, it reads "Kill List," and at the top of that list, it says Klein. Underneath it says Glamamir, and Aegeus slides it into the center of the table, and goes, "If we're gonna have a list, it should probably be all of our list. If you guys want to add any names to the list,
well, I would think that perhaps Shadowthorn needs to be on that list."
Ed just pushes the paper towards Jewel. Danny, you're muted.
She writes Vane Shadowthorn right underneath Glimmermere.
I'll gesture to Jewel. I'll gesture to Lex to scooch the paper over to me, and I ask for the pen, and then I circle and circle and circle and just keep circling Glimmermere until it's almost illegible, and then I pass it back to Aegeus.
Hey, Aegeus? We, I think, all are slowly understanding the Fey. We know that they like their trickery. We know that they like their deals, and words and things mean a lot to them. Now, one thing that we may not have gone over because you lot were frozen. To know somebody's real name in the Fey gives you incredible power over them. It's the whole reason why we have been told not to tell them our name. That is in the past now. But if we know Glimmermere's real name, or search high and low, that will give us a bargaining chip and possibly even power over. Furthermore, why not us find a way of returning what is lost to you without going back to her, and really kick her in the ghoulies by stealing it back in whatever means necessary. Then, Gavin, and Jewel turns to you, then we go kill her. But we know we have already bested her when we show up to slit her throat.
Yeah.
I
Dude,
think it is it is just, it is beautiful to be able to screw them over twice.
I'll tell you what, Jewel. I am. Everyone talked about this whole like what happened while we were living a fucking nightmare in there. I don't know if we were conscious or not or whatever. But I'm really, really trying to embrace, doing the right thing, trying to navigate, to thread the needle between violence that is necessary and violence that is extra and egregious. And so for me,
Yeah.
I think the path into under the temple really taught us that line, because we crossed it.
yeah, no. So for me, like when you said let's trick her here, the fuck are you talking about? Like she's there. We don't even know how to get like how.
All I'm saying, as a self-confessed hater of magic, she likely stole whatever she stole with magic. So let's find the magic way of getting it back. That is all I mean. And to undermine a very power, I think would be phenomenally a kick in her ego.
How about this? We'll come to a compromise, because at the end of the day, this is about something that I lost. This is about a mistake that I made. This is about a situation that happened to all of us because of me. So about this. What I got in there, I deserved. What I lost, I needed to lose to understand who I am to this team and to the world. And I don't want to get it back, because the sooner I get it back, the sooner I forget why I am who I am right now. But I will say this. I'm all about finding out her true name, because, look, the first thing I would love to do with that true name is get her to make me a cold cherry Bakewell cocktail that you can get from Dryad's Gate. That was my favorite drink while we were there, and I'm just really wanting that 12-foot bitch to bring me a fucking cocktail, and that would be real nice. So what I would say is this: once we get her true name, I'm happy to make her bend to our will. I like the idea of maybe making her the assistant to the secretary of our Dryad Gate branch, and working underneath the old lady who could possibly have died in the time that we've not been there. But I would love for her to work under her and have to deal with that old lady's, if I remember correctly, memory issues and various other things, because I feel like that would be annoying.
The irony.
And admin jobs are painful, so I would very much enjoy that. Now, when the time comes, when the day comes, I'd be glad for all of us to stand over her body as we all thrust our various weapons. Wait, pause. I'm going to try that again. As we all stand over her and jab our weapons into her for a final time to end the torture that we put her through. But phrasing boom indeed, Data. I think that's a good idea. But let me say this, guys. So, you all experienced something, and I too had to face some things in there, and you deserve to know what I lost, because if we're family, then you deserve to know. But I cannot remember the face of my my one and only child. And
Oh, jeez.
We literally felt your pain. We felt it. We were emotionally connected.
Jeez,
We
why
felt
we
that
followed
anguish.
you?
That's why your pain
And-
is our pain, quite literally.
and exactly that, Lex. And I think what I learned from all of this is I'm not the main character here. I'm here to help this world. We're all here. We're all vessels and tools of fate, destiny, gods, circumstance, coincidence.
We
You know,
are
and
we are the main characters of our own stories, though, Aegeus. You and everyone else.
But let me say this. I think it's time for us to... I think it's time... Oh, God. Takami, hey, I was just apologizing to these guys for everything that happened in the Force, and we were just talking about how we're going to torture Glimmermere by making her work as our undersecretary to the secretary in our Dryad's Gate branch. So she has to deal with the memory problems of the secretary that works there. Sorry, just getting you caught up. We're also sharing like the different experiences that happen to each of us. But as I was saying, Takami here comes sit next to me, and Edgius pulls out the chair next. He stands up, pulls out the chair next to him, and then sits back down.
Sorry. Do I get a moment to speak here, or are you just going to continue waffling as per usual?
Nope, let him finish. He's on a roll.
For a change, yes, please let him finish. And it would be very interesting to hear what else happened.
Takami sits cross-legged on the chair.
Edgius looks at Lex and Jewel and nods his skull. Look, two things that have been bothering me. Two things that I realized. The first one is, we are a fucking mess as a team. We say we're a team, but we're a fucking mess. And what I mean by that is, the moment spells start flying and swords are being waved around, suddenly we forget that cover exists. Like when we were out on that ice, everyone was just like out in the, like there was like, no one was taking cover. Like no one was running formations. I was somehow at the front because I got wrapped up in my own ego. Like, we need to work on how we attack things, and I mean literally attack things. But then the second thing, and this comes to how we mentally attack things, we have been what feels like 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 steps behind Klein, Shadowthorn, the Fey Lord of Winter. All these beings have been ahead of us. They're in the race of whatever the fuck we're dealing with and whatever the fuck is coming across NOF. We have been behind. It is time for us to get the fuck ahead and to start making some progress here. So we need to go to Mara and we need to find out what she knows. We need to wield that information with everything else we know. We need to work one thing at a time, and we need to tick it off a list. We need to just be more precise. We need to be more careful. When we go to a city, we don't all need to be doing something. We can tackle 4 tasks all at once because we are all the detective agency. We need to just be smarter with our time. And with that being said, I just want to say that whatever I can do, you guys have got it. I'm there. I'm going to put myself forward. And in terms of the attacking people, look, I'm the support. I know my place now. I'm going to be at the back, hopefully with Lex, and Edgius looks at Lex, shooting off spells and protecting you two, disabling them, stunning them, and doing anything we can to make melee and close quarters combat easier for you two. Now, Jules, you're
Yes.
great with a ranged weapon, that's what we need to work on.
Let's get right into that. Yes, I weirdly, I learned quite a lot from my sister, really. I would want to say adept at ranged, but realistically, and it is so interesting, I seem to now find the weakness in when an enemy in front of me is distracted. Kevin, usually by yourself, I have to admit. it does help me find the right opening to find a way to hurt them. I therefore feel I am better when I have the opportunity to hit my target distracted. I don't always want to be right in the firing line because I fear that I am a little bit squishier, but I have my ways of getting out, I think is probably the better way. So I think I must try to stay with Cavan, and then when the time is right and I feel that I no longer can stay close, I do retreat and use, as you say, Aegeus, as much cover as possible.
I think
Why don't we?
I think
Why
as well.
don't we just? Why don't we just go 1-1-2, like a fucking arrow? I'll be at the point. Jewel, you be with me, whatever degree you want to. But when you're ready to fly out and flank or get position or get angle, fly the fuck out, and I'll just keep forging forward, and I'll create.
That was the thing I wanted to check with you, Cavan. Is at certain point in the battle, I feel I am going to have to almost leave you there and disappear. But I mean, I don't know. This is again new. So just staying there and then possibly even just, giving you that tap on the shoulder of, I'm tapping out. I am going. I may have to.
Should we actually call this something? Should we call it the arrowhead or the 1-1-2 or fucking point attack
Flying
or
V.
some shit? The flying fucking V. Like, let's name it right now so that when we get there, we remind ourselves where we are.
Okay,
I
so
agree. Me and Aegeus support from the back. I can literally turn the probability in our favor with my magic. But what we also have to try and be cognizant of, because I tried to do it when we were in the Fey Wild, but it didn't come off very well, is if we are getting overwhelmed with numbers or just sheer power, there's some stuff that I can do to try and turn the odds in our favor, but you guys become collateral damage if you're too close. Like, for example, if they're all in the line, I can literally take them out with a lightning bolt. Or if they're all grouped together, I can drop something on them. If you guys are in proximity, I can't do that. So I've got to find a way to communicate that to you if that becomes apparent.
So something to bear in mind is possibly more communication on the battlefield. When you know that you are planning something, tell us. It may arm Cavan and I to get out of the way, but not as much as the damage you're about to deal. You understand? So even if it is a detriment for us to leave at a moment's notice, if you're going to obliterate them, then we'll take that hit if we have to.
I think the way we should look at this is, and by the way, I agree with everything that has just been said. I think Cavan at the point, Jewel running interference, me and Lex supporting from the back, I think is a great maneuver. Now, the two things that I think Jewel and Cavan, you should be focusing on is forcing our enemies to spread their attention, to have to think about multiple issues in front of them at once. Then Lex, these guys are going to be in the fray, blades spinning, blood splattering. I think it's our job to be the eyes on the battlefield. So what I mean by that is strategically, we need to be making the calls from the back. And giving these guys a bit of that kind of guidance, because we will be able to see more of the battlefield. With that, Lex, as well, we have experienced already foes that are, for example, impervious to, ice-based things or resistant to fire. I think part of our job, Lex, is to begin deducing, as the detectives that we both are, in my creative way and your logical way, what we're up against and what is the best way to bring it down, and then feed that information to the other two as they're getting in busy up in the front line.
I am also willing to move swiftly across the battlefield, so Aegeus, please, tell me if another target needs to be attacked.
I walk behind.
I gotta get better at using Cog for that sort of thing. I mean, he stays hidden because I nearly lost him one time, and I'm scared he'll die. But if he's not in Megazord form, he's got to be an extra pair of eyes and ears for us. I got to use him in that way for strategy.
But also, if he is in Megazord forms, then that does give the opportunity of me going with Megazord, and Cavan to be by himself. again, that needs a different name. Maybe that's a two-pronged approach. So
The trident.
The
3
trident.
points of attack.
Great. There we go.
I walk behind Takami and just put my hands on her chair and say,
Edgiest growls. Joking. Sorry.
Get off my woman, bitch.
Like, we're talking, I guess, with the assumption that you won't be here forever, Takami, but, if you are going to stick around, then we probably need to consider what your best strength is until you decide to go, which is fine whenever you do.
I kind of just had that discussion with the powers that be and Kumoryu.
Oh, how did they take the portal? Oh my god, I'm so sorry.
Well, that was kind of it. I told them about that whole balance of power thing that old Frosty man was talking about. They want me to see this through because it has now a direct impact on the village. And if this Shrouded Lord gets too much influence, then essentially that Fey portal may be the last bastion. And I'm not sure they're willing to take on that mantle. So I'm kind of stuck with you. Plus, he told me that he needed me, so...
I just want to confirm that I did not say those words. This is Volsty Butt Takami. I'm super glad you're here. Thank you for joining us. Without you and your many arms, what would we do? So I guess actually maybe Cavan and Takami up at the front with Jules doing the popping in and out of reality thing.
I mostly
It
can
works really well, actually.
pop in and out. Actually, I can very much be that annoying bug. I can hopefully really, I'm here 1 minute, gone's the next, in multiple different ways, even if it is just being a slippery little shit.
Yeah, actually, two things are on my mind. First one, Edgius, you're a terrible liar. You definitely said you needed her. I can see it in your eyes.
Yeah, you absolutely.
Holes.
You didn't get away with that. I'm sorry.
Secondly,
I'm never letting him get away with that one.
No,
yeah, 100%.
I am a fantastic liar.
And then
I'll
do it.
I want to get it
I'll
on a
put my
t-shirt.
finger on
No, you're
Edgius's
not.
lips. I'll do it. Calm and put my finger on his lips. Secondly,
That being
actually,
said-
with Takarmi and with Callum, we've got 3 attackers at the front, 3 spell slingers at the back. That is actually perfect balance.
At this point, Callum just sort of walks into the room and he's got a bit of a stony face on. Hello.
He's going to say semi-on.
And sits down on one of the bunks.
Is that not go
Callum,
so
your hair
well
is a
then?
mess. Your hair is a
I'm
mess.
assuming you got turned down,
Well,
right?
You swing, you miss, and try again. And you
Did
miss.
she swing
you
his
got
Swing,
neck?
swing with your ips. It usually helps.
You still got all your
think that-
appendages? She's known to chop stuff
Generally might have been the problem, to be honest. But and yeah, sorry, I've interrupted an important discussion. Somebody was talking about me being at the front of a fight. Absolutely fucking not.
Absolutely.
No,
at the
you're in the
back.
back.
You slinging
At the
No,
back.
no,
back
you're
with
in
me
the
and-
back.
me and
buddy.
Edgius.
You're in the back.
Oh,
Yeah.
At the back. Yeah, no, that makes sense.
We are hoping for the best communication. If you ever need to hit a particular area, tell us to get the fuck out of there before you do something dangerous.
And-
I'm sure I can figure that out.
Also-
I don't know how to ask this, Edgius and Lex, but anything that we would perhaps need to dodge? I am fairly adept at also not getting it. So with those types, again, if there's any way of letting us know, then at least I can stay relatively in the firing line.
I think as well, Lex and Callum, we need to like these guys have said, feed information, inform them of when things are coming. Also, we can be Callum, pull him this way so that it's lining people up, and it's Cavan, pull him this way, and it's so Lexi can line people up for those things. I think I've been thinking a little bit about this as well, in that time where I didn't say much between the Fey Wild and when I suddenly became more conscious at the pub the other day. What I was thinking was the damage that I typically am good at dealing are things like psychic damage, necrotic damage, and then thunder damage are kind of like the main things that I'm kind of like the ways that I'm kind of dealing out pain. Now I do have the ability to throw a chromatic orb, but I'm kind of, that's kind of my only big variant. I have some other things that's some basic fire stuff with my firebolt and my frostbite that I can do, but I think Lex and Callum, we should vary our attacks and do different styles of attacks so that we're not, we're trying different things. We'll very quickly deduce, if I'm doing psychic, Lex, you're doing acid, and Callum, you're doing whatever you do. That would be really,
It's very hard.
we could.
Well, we
could work that out,
Let's just say the Lord of Winter and I have come to a new understanding, so there's some changes.
Oh. To your...
I can literally give us a fortress if we need one.
Magical
Takes
igloo.
that small figurine of a fortress, doesn't it? Apparently.
Coming in clutch there, Callum.
And I don't know if you know this, Callum, but me and Jewel tried to make an extra deal that if we take down the Shadowfell villains that are threatening the Fey Wild, that the Lord of Winter will give your dad back.
We tried to get him back immediately with you, but we struck out on that one, I'm afraid.
Yeah, that was the best we could do.
You see Callum's face go very serious for a moment, and he sort of brings his hands together. Yes. Well, there's also the manner of a memory, if I'm to understand.
Oh, you were out of the room for this. I actually said I actually don't want my memory back at the moment because this is a good fresh reminder of who I need to be. However, down the line, I'm looking to hopefully regain that memory when I'm a better person.
I'm going to find their names, their true names.
We all want to find their names. Truly.
I insight checked you saying I don't want to get it back, and I got a 21.
No, Edgeus genuinely, actually, is enjoying the self-harm that it's causing him at the moment because feels like keeping the wound open at the moment is allowing him to be the person he needs to be. And hopefully, after enough time of being that person, he'll be able to seal that wound back up.
I think at that, then, Edgeus, Takami's hand sort of snakes out of her lap and just sort of grasps yours for a moment. And then snakes back in.
She grasps, and where the trousers are baggy, you would assume that there's a thigh there, and if she grips, it just keeps shrinking down until she just grips my bone.
Thigh. I know you want her to grip your bone, but...
I wish I had a bone to be gripped, Callum. Thank you for that rib. Another thing that I lost many years ago that I'm still struggling with. The situation of...
For rolling back to Edgeus's thing there, it is very much for anyone who wants supernatural, where Sam gets a cut on his hand and he presses into it every time he needs to come back to reality. So I'm all for the fact that you've got this like wound you need to
late
press
stage
on
season 6.
Late stage season 12 or something daft when he comes back.
Is it? No, I thought it was after.
It's late.
Fucking losers! You know exactly.
Yeah.
We digress.
Anyway,
we digress.
Anyway.
Totally.
Disadvantage on your next roll, Matt. Disadvantage on your next roll.
It's alright, I fucked it up apparently.
I don't know, I could be entirely wrong on that one as well.
I thought it was the whole Satan and hell bit, but maybe not.
Yeah,
anyway.
yeah, it is, but he comes back with his soul broken. So
Okay.
it's quite
Bear
late.
with us, viewers.
Anyway.
They're just going to hash us out for the next 10 minutes, and then we'll be back with
just
this.
got a break.
Dave and I have a discussion offline.
We will.
Yeah.
No,
Anyway.
I just love it, and it's wonderful. Back in the room.
I love and appreciate you too, Dave. Thanks. Guys, okay, so look, it seems like we've got a better head on our shoulders.
Not a guy, just going to point that out.
No. That's a general term that refers to a. How about this, folks, y'all? We as a collective.
I'm just fucking with you. It's fine.
I put a finger onto Kami's lips.
Yes.
And
You didn't say which lips, Matt.
Wink, wink. And we'll be like, look. To me, it seems like we kind of know where we've got to go. I know we talked about the Crystalline Isle. I would love to stop at Stonebark. Jules' father has a very big sword waiting for me there that I would very much like to collect.
Really glad you finished that sentence. Thank you.
Yep. That I would like to take from Jules' father. I would like to take the big sword that he has constructed for me.
Just move on for the love of God, otherwise I'm going to smack your head off.
On my rear as well. I plan to carry it here on my rear.
Oil it up as well.
Takami reaches over and puts a full hand over your mouth with your like fingers on her lips.
Also, if we are heading in that direction and possibly can, perhaps a quick then continue on to Dryad's Gate. I currently have a magical ring at a shop which I used it as collateral.
Oh yeah.
Because we needed we needed the poison. And we just need to basically pay for the poison and we will get the ring back.
Yeah, we need that. We discussed that last time.
Sorry, you used a magic ring to pay for poison.
That is
that
semantics at this point. Don't worry yourself about it.
I did not have much money, and it was a ring that I did not care about. Perhaps it was a better ring than I thought it was, and anyway, we're going to get it back.
That
do you
was
think
20
these extra stops are going to cost us more money?
You can relax.
Yeah, do you think the extra stops are going to cost us money? And do you think is there a place to dock an airship at Stonebark and Dryad's Gate without causing destruction?
There's a rope. And a rope ladder.
I was going to say that there'll be a ladder. We can just climb up and down the ladder. And me and Jules can, do the old and then the thing.
I can do that too.
No, the asthmatic thing. Right.
Oh,
okay.
Callum. Callum, I forgot to tell you. Oh my God, Callum, this is gonna blow your mind. Do you remember when you and I dueled on the riverbank before we took the boat across the river to get towards?
When I kicked your ass, I suppose I do.
You indeed you did kick my ass. Remember, I asked you if you could show me how you did that thing that you did.
Yes.
Well, I learned how to do it because of what you showed me. Literally because of what you showed me. I've now, in the time that you were frozen, which by the way was like a day, just like one day, we came
Callum's
straight
already
away.
established it took us way too long. Yeah, he found us out on that
I was going to say, we're like midsummer now, and when I left, we were sort of at the start of summer, so pretty much it's longer than a day.
Sure, whatever you want to think. But I learned it because of you. Literally. So, thank you. It's been pretty valuable. I actually got into a dwarf's house that we ended up torturing because of the thing you gave me the power of. So, in some ways, you basically tortured that dwarf, not us. That's wild.
Not sure I'm comfortable with facilitating torture, but sure, I live to serve, darling.
I just really appreciate it.
That's the one, mate.
Well, I have lots of thoughts and lots of conversations and so many tabs open in my head. There's music coming from one and I can't decide where it's coming from, but that's beside the point.
Edgius stops playing the lute next to Lex and puts it away quickly.
I think we might have to tell Captain Romeo, the last time we went to the Crystalline Isle, right, we had to face the trial of the dragon to prove we were worthy. I'm thinking, well, we've already proved we're worthy, Jewel, and the all-seeing eye who runs the Crystalline Isle knows us. He's not going to make us do it again because we've got new people with us, is he?
Well, if you remember, that's...
Dragon?
I'll get to that in a minute. Shut up, Callum. Jewel, you were saying.
Finger on Callum's lips.
The last time we were at our home office, we got a message from that wizard. We were all there. He knew about our current path. I am hoping he is also going to have the foresight to know that we are on our way back. I do not want to. Again, I don't want to assume that. So we are going to try and find a way of passing that information to them again. Do you know what I mean? Like maybe we do Dryad's Gate and we attempt to.
Yeah, he should see it's coming, right?
But still, I do not want to make any assumptions, and that may mean that we can find out a sensible and easy way without getting attacked in the air by a dragon.
Yeah.
I mean, also, if we're on the airship, can we not put "We come in peace" on a banner, and just write
"We are worthy"?
We are worthy.
I actually think we'll be okay. Yeah.
Dude,
he must
chill.
know we're coming.
Don't burn us alive. Some, just stuff like that.
I like the last one. That's a great shout.
Yeah.
Jewel. Yeah. I like that. Didn't we also, before we peel out of here, because it seems like we've got a good heading, we know we're going to be a better team, or at least we're going to practice the trident more when we're dealing with that. Didn't we have to go to Mara? Yeah. I also needed to do some shopping. Yeah. There's a couple things that I would like to get. Should we go tackle all of that?
You just said that at times where it is sensible, we need to split up and do more things at once. So, why not we do that? Kevin, obviously you're the one to go and speak to Mara, but one of us can come with. Edgius, you go shop away to your heart's content.
Yeah, because it's Mara's spies have gave us intel on, Rosingdom and Fey Lesser, whether Klein has been spotted there recently. Or Sheriff on.
I actually I think I'm just gonna go with Edgius.
Don't you want to see Mara?
Whoa! You're the. We can't go talk to Mara. You have to be there. What are we gonna say to her that she's gonna talk to us? She doesn't even trust half of us.
Do you know how many times I have met Mara with the knowledge that I have to leave again? And it's just sometimes it's not a good easier not to. Fuck's sake, man! It's like I just want to get to a point where I can come home and stay home and not have to fucking explain why I've got to go again. And it's
Kevin. This is exactly what you need to say to her. Exactly what you need to say. Don't be saying it to us.
You'll regret it if you don't say it, man.
Agreed.
I'm sorry, Kevin. I'm not going to let you.
And she will hunt your ass down if you do not go see her before you leave.
Callum had a great question. Lex makes a phenomenal point, but Callum's question is the most valid question I've heard at this table today.
What'd you say, Callum?
I said, "Do you love her, darling?"
Fuck it. Let's just go see her.
Insight check.
Everybody's making a fucking insight check on that one. Callum got an 8. Callum's just staring at you blankly. Like, I'm waiting for an answer.
I got a 24.
Wow. An appalling 10 from Jewel.
Kevin, make me a deception or persuasion check then. Don't tell us which one, but let us know the result.
Persuasion. Okay. It's an 18.
18. So, what would Lex be able to pick up then from that statement with his successful insight check? That one's on you, Tom. Bearing in mind, he's seen through whether that was deception, persuasion.
No. He sees through it, and he knows that when Kevin doesn't, Kevin's never even used the word love. So Lex perceives that he doesn't use it for a reason, because when he does use it, he means it. So this is his way of dancing around it.
And I will use message to say in his head, so nobody else hears it. You've got the biggest heart of us all, man. She loves you too. I know it.
And I turn to Lex and I say, how do you do that? Like, how do you fucking... Did you do that, or did I... I heard your voice, and it was... Was that your voice?
You're welcome, man.
Fuck it, let's go.
I feel
let's just
like
go.
I missed something really important there.
No one
I
missed
don't know
anything.
about
Haven't
you
said
all,
that out
but
loud with no context
No.
to me.
That's exactly what happened.
Callum's just gonna be like, you've all got things to do. I don't. I'm going to see if I can get a drink aboard this spectacular airship. Like, this is top tier.
Let me take you to the ship's mechanic. She's always got a stash.
Amazing. Takami will also, but I'm probably going to stick around too. I brought my stuff here, like, assuming that we were going, so if you've got stuff to do, I'll be here.
Lex, do you want to... I mean, Jewel, I don't know if you're coming or not, but...
I would like to come. I have one question I would like to ask Mara. It may not come to fruition at all, so it is worth me trying.
Do you want to share it with us and we can take the question, or do you want to come and kind of... either way, dude. Either way. Fuck it.
So in my head, Jewel and Cav are going to Mara, Edgis is going shopping, and me and Callum are going to see the mechanic
Fucking
engineer
A.
lady.
That sounds cool. I like it.
This is the
Holy
only
shit,
time we'll
guys.
split up and not die. So let's
I
make the
will
most
say
of it.
then,
That's it. Fucking
Edgius,
TPK 3 hours.
because we've been discussing this behind the scenes anyway.
One sec, Matt. I have some more stuff that I'm adding. I'm typing
Right,
more
okay.
things as we were going. Yeah.
We'll
continue.
say you
Sorry.
go and do this off screen then, rather than doing shopping bits, because you disappear
I
off.
just want everyone to imagine Edgius. Lex has given Edgius the bank. Edgius is whistling through town as he has 3 huge, like, tote bags filled with shit that is, like, protruding out, and he's just whistling, and, like, he's like, damn, I'm nailing this shit. Like, I'm so on it right now, and he's gonna make his way back to the ship after shopping.
So
There's a lot of very happy stall owners and shop owners.
on
Yeah,
that,
definitely.
if I may, I would have asked. Joel would have asked Edgius to also get maybe like 2 or 3 thief toolkits. So
Excellent stuff.
told him which
Yep,
shops
would have
have the
added
little
that.
symbol for whether they have that type of stuff, and would have hopefully found that.
I ask Edgius
So you
to
get 3
some
sets
hand
of thieves tool.
get some hand wraps for me, some sort of like Muay Thai hand wraps for me.
Hell yeah. Yeah,
Nice.
Very good.
I actually make your hand wraps out of there's a bit of cloth on the ship, and I just like tear it up and fucking. I think it's actually
It's
a
an
spare
old
sail,
sail.
and I did. It's
Yeah.
a spare sail. It's a spare sail, and I just happen to So when they put it up, there's just like
Covered
a
in bird
little
shit.
thin square, like a little thin like rectangle cut out of it.
So how much am I deducting
good.
from the inventory,
Well-
the treasury?
And so, Lex, do you need anything?
I don't know. I've got
Right,
potions
okay,
of healing.
so no.
I've got supplies, to be fair. I don't really need a lot.
So
really need
Danny,
that.
if you can take 75 off for me, I believe that's the price of the thieves' tools. For all
We'll
3.
call it 50.
50, lovely.
Matt, I dropped a
And
little.
then 1,500
message
quid
in
for
there you.
Edgius.
Yeah, just wait for Edgius.
Oh,
is just
it's going to be
butt
way
fuck.
more. It's going to be so much more. It's going to be so much more after the list.
We've
I
got
just sent Matt.
3,112, so as long as it's less than that.
Okay, I am going to call this all in. I'm going to call it 1,800.
All right, I'm down with that.
Even with the list that I gave.
Yeah, because there's nothing
yeah.
magical in there.
Hell yeah.
And even then, we are in a high arcane world, so magic items are significantly reduced in price from what they would be if you're looking at the DMG or anything like that.
obviously
I just read the list, you fucking legend.
Also, I would say, yeah, the standard let's have some rations, kind of
So I will say, rather than you needing to buy rations, the ship is fully kitted out.
Cool. All right, cool.
We'll cook for
very
the
good.
crew
So
one
Edgius
night
does
and,
his shopping.
make myself some food. Yeah.
does his shopping.
When I get back to the ship, I would like to wrap up all the little things that I got and put them on the beds of the guest room that we're staying in that I have chosen to assign people their various. I put everyone's bags like out by their beds, and I get like everyone's shit organized in the spare room while everyone's off doing stuff.
Good. We'll say you're waiting in there for people to return. Then Callum and Takami are somewhere else on the ship. Everyone else then. So Takami's on the ship. Lex, you take Callum down another flight of stairs and into that central chamber, and you feel almost like the hair on your head stand on end, and Callum feels it on his arms, and you feel that sort of strange static feeling before you even reach the engine room of sorts, but then you just sort of gently knock on the door, and you hear sort of mechanical movements, and then the door opens and you can just see Rend staring down at you, that huge hulking silver automaton of sorts.
Good to see you, man. I'll hold out a fist bump, channeling just
Knocks you backwards, like knocks you over.
I take 1 point of damage.
Yeah, I'll allow that, yeah.
Fuck.
You fall over. Callum sort of helps you up.
that.
Steady, darling. Maybe not punch
Callum,
the big
this is Ren. Ren, this is Callum.
Oh, well met, Ren.
Where's,
And
where's that? And I'll be looking around him, see if I can see.
And you see the Aarakocra, like eagle-like form of Dis, who is just hunched over a panel that is open, and you can see sort of the tools and the sparks. And she sort of hears your voice, and she lifts the goggles up, and you can see her face is just like covered in soot. But when she takes the goggles off, those eagle eyes are just sort of there. And the goggles sort of come around the side because eagle head. And she sort of rubs her face a little bit. Lex, it's been fucking ages.
I'm back.
Awesome.
I
Help
brought
me
a
with
friend.
this.
He wants to get in your stash, but I'll definitely help you with that.
Oh, that. Do you know what? I think pulls out a mason jar with a screw top and like, this is my recent batch. I put like a little bit of lime through there, so just be a little bit careful. Callum sort of unscrews
That's
it.
right. Callum's a little bit funny.
Well, fuck it.
Don't take. Oh, it's a sippy. It's a sipper, not a gulper.
No, it's
Fuck.
not. No, that's really strong. Thank you. I'm gonna go throw up.
That's gonna sting when you piss. Okay. Anyway, what did you want some help with?
This, if you don't mind, like last time when we were trying to connect the power lines up, I need to reroute one. So, like, as you can see, we've got some larger gems, and I need to totally redo the efficiency of those power lines. We've got
power output
surges
versus the
all over the place. It's just not balanced at all. So if you can, sort of just.
We'll get out my Tinker's tools like a fucking boss and start rerouting
so
stuff.
Between the two of you, you start to just realign some of the power lines, and they are cables, but you remember from last time, they are repurposed and specifically forged Wrathstrike cables. So again, that called Mana Stone to some, it's from meteorites. It grows up out of the ground where the ley lines are. Just this specific gemstone and ore that you get that you can make different materials out of, and you begin to sort of shift these around. I will ask you to make me a Tinker's Tools check with advantage, please. So I'm going to ask you for yourself to make me a straight intelligence check, but add your proficiency bonus on top, please, at advantage.
As an
That's
80s
advantage.
montage of Lex and this dude fixing
23.
stuff with it's like, the great music.
And I've got like bandana grease on my thing, a bit Top Gun-esque with like oil tops off, but mechanics rather than volleyball.
So Dis is there, sort of disrobed down to because she's a female eagle, and I'm assuming anthropomorphic eagles have breasts. So like a bra on, and just her leather pants. Why not? It's fantasy as a fuck. Wings sort of wrapped around behind her, and I don't know. It's fucking. There's nerds out there that want boobs, and you're both just covered in fucking grease, reconnecting these power cables up. And you stand, and there's sort of sweat coming off both of your brows. Not that you can really tell when she's in eagle form. There's just like slightly shiny feathers.
And it's kind of like, when a surgeon is like scalpel, wrench, and the cog is just passing tools to both of us like he's a surgical assistant.
Cog also grounds you at one point so you don't get an electric or an arcane shock as you go to connect one cable up and forget that you've not grounded it properly and just sort of and it goes through Cog and out into the ship and you just see Cog go.
Who would put the power port where the data connection
now
is?
speaks in Mandarin. 'Cause it's...
Just reset. Very good. Anything else you wish to do with Dis then, Lex?
Nope, that was it. Let's get out of here.
Good.
I could, start a whole epilogue and just chat to her about stuff, but I won't because we'll
we'll
to
say
leave.
the two of you catch up on stuff that's been going on. Just generally catch up, and you sort of bring Dis up to speed around everything. And there's the typical, that's something. You tortured a dwarf? And just all these different things that come out. In the meanwhile, Cavan and Jewel, you head sort of slightly outside of the Barracks and Sky Docks and just a little down towards the Black Veil estate. Doesn't take you particularly long to get there, probably about a 5-10 minute walk. And then you come to those grand gates, if you like, and I will pull up my description of the Black Veil estate so I don't fuck it up too much. But you are let into that sort of grand foyer. Anything anybody wishes to do or tell the sort of the footman before Mara arrives?
I just turn to Jewel and I say, I think quicker the better here. Let's just, you got your questions you got to ask. I'm gonna have to have a chat with Mara, and then let's get the fuck out of here. It's just gonna be too hard for me, Jewel. I don't want to belabor this.
Look, I totally understand, and I'm sorry for pushing and persuading you, but you're going to feel better once you've done this. I will ask my questions. We will be... you know what I mean when I say we're going to ask the professional questions, all the stuff we need to know, and then I am going to leave you for a few minutes outside, and when you walk out, I will not talk to you, I will not ask you how it went, and we will just go back to the ship, okay?
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind you talking to me, but
it's fine.
Yes.
I respect your
It's fine.
privacy, but we also have a very valued source of information here. The reason I wanted to come, Kevin, she's the other side of the coin to the Serpent's Cloak, almost. I know that there's that other organization, but, well, I hope she might be able to give me some insight into the cloak, and that is why I want to know. So
You don't need to. You don't need to explain. And as I say that, I walk past the doorman. I say, I'm going to see Mara, and actually we're going to see Mara. Yep. And I just walk past, and I walk directly to the reception room that I oftentimes find Mara in.
So you head off to the private library that you know exists. And as you sort of gently knock on the door, you hear Mara's voice, "Come in." And as you enter, you see Mara sat in a chair, a high-backed sort of purple leather chair, if you like, and she is wearing this navy blue, midnight blue bodice, if you like, corset, with then these black lace sleeves and the black lace skirts. She has her legs crossed, high heels as always, and she just then, seeing you, immediately stands, doesn't say a word, just places the book down, rushes up to you, Kevin, pulls you into a hug and a kiss. It's so good to see you, my darling.
Yeah. Hey. How are you doing? And I kind of just sweep kind of her hair off of her forehead and give her a little kiss and say, "Yeah, it's great to see you too. We, man, every time I come back, we're kind of short of time, Mara, and I want to talk to you, but we're here for a couple different reasons, and
Okay.
Anyway, Jewel's here.
Business first.
Yeah, if you don't mind.
No, of course not.
if it is okay, Mara, I know that our path is leaving us away from Union City temporarily, but we have many things that we would like to know. As you know...
Sit. Let's not stand.
Yes, thank you. As you know...
I choose to stand. I choose to stand and just kind of pace behind Jewel.
I have certainly had my run-ins and my dealings with the Serpent's Cloak, even trained temporarily with them for a few months. You may even know...
Evident, yes.
You may even, or maybe not you yourself, maybe you do, or maybe there's the records you have kept. I know you would have a lot of information about the Serpent's Cloak being... rivals? The right words? Perhaps? I don't know. Either way, you know...
Something along those
You know
lines.
what I mean. Well, one of their members at Elunor taught me a decent amount, and I helped them along. Whether it be wise or not, I am thinking of heading back in that direction and seeing if I can covertly have a conversation with them. Might you have any pointers as to how I might be able to negotiate with them? Of course, I realise I'm a realist. They believe that I have done some wrong in their favour. I want to draw a line under this. I'm sure they are or can be reasonable. So I'm thinking, is it something I can simply be straight with them? Offer them coin?
Do they wish
offer
for
them
your head,
information?
Jewel?
Damn, this is what I was not hoping for. Surely they can be...
This is my question. Do they wish for your head?
Oh, do they? I mean, they tried to... They stabbed us all and, left us a warning? Is that...
Then
they
you
want
must
my head?
bring them something that is more valuable than your life.
That is what I thought. That is exactly what I thought. Cavan, do you not agree? I think that even whether it be information or a physical artifact, I am confident that we can. And I think that is where our inroads are going to be.
While Jewel and Mara are talking, I have been writing at the desk on a notepad of paper about an A5 piece of paper, just writing a little note on the A5 piece of paper, and then I put the pencil down or the pen down, take the piece of paper, and then stand behind Jewel and Mara, so they don't
Mara's
see me.
a
They're
little
just
bit
kind of
distracted,
talking.
but just sort of then. So yes, you need something that is of more value, whether that is information. I will not give you anything that is going to allow you to treat with them, if that makes sense.
Oh, no,
do
absolutely
not allow
not.
them in
And
the city.
look,
I will not treat with them.
To make our position plain, we know that there is another organization out there that are pretty much the polar opposites of the Serpent's Cloak. I wish to...
Again, make me a perception check, please.
I will roll another one because I have...
You did it, Danny. That went off the floor.
That went straight off the floor. That is a mere 28.
Near 28.
God damn.
Again, you notice that subtle silver necklace that Mara wears
Oh, yes.
with the symbol
Fuck, I
of
forgot
the
about
organisation you are talking about.
You know very well who I am speaking of.
Maybe.
She
says coyly.
In every way, I feel that we are more aligned with them than anyone else. I am merely trying to get someone off my back and someone stopping trying to kill us. And if it provides us with, again, some new information, then I think it is simply not worth blowing up that bridge and leaving them at arm's length either way. I hope you understand this. You know, why
Do you have a name
why
for the individual you wish to treat with? Maybe we can send a whisper ahead.
Sure. Do I? Oh, fucking hell, I can't remember. Hang on.
Is Mara from Drymere based on the accent?
from the region.
Mara is of Shadow Elf or Drow, and she's from mixed heritage. So you get the impression there is something of that within her.
Okay, so are accents more species-based or heritage-based than they are regional here in NOF?
There is regional-based accents. I have also given the Drow a similar accent in this case.
Okay.
So
Interesting. Okay, cool. Just wondering. Just wanted to allow you to
the
express
Drow
your
do.
beautiful
I will
world building, Matt.
Above table, the Drow do have a full civilization in this world yet to be discovered.
Nice.
Oh. That means it's underground, guys. It means it's down
Of course it
under,
is.
mate. We gotta go
it
fucking
is.
down under.
Going underground.
To above table this
We'll
then,
meet him
Matt.
at Mara and Cavin's wedding, obviously.
Go on, Dave.
It's
Sorry.
gonna be underground.
You can tell me if I did hear their name over the few months that I was there, because I believe that they were considered the Veiled Viper of Eleanor, because there's a Veiled Viper in every city, so it could well be that that is the only information I have. I just called them Viper or something. And I'm happy to give, because that is a specific. And then I would suppose I would also be able to give the description of who the person was.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, you do, and I'm having to go back through my notes to find it as well because it's from your origin story.
Yeah,
so
I was trying to read it up, but I can't find it.
It's all good. It's all good. So you do sort of point to the individual there, the same individual that sort of double crossed you in Eleanor, if that's what you're on about, the individual who nicked that obsidian crystal and then left you for dead, essentially.
So I'd give the description of that. Say the time frame. So it would have been year, couple of months, ago. So presume that as long as nothing has changed, they're likely to still be the same Veiled Viper of Eleanor. It's unlikely that their regime would have changed that much, and so would have said that's the person I'm trying to get in touch with. So if you can provide a whisper of
Cassian Vale.
Cassian Vale. Bless you.
There we go.
We've heard that name before. Where have we heard that
Jules'
name?
origin story.
No, I swear we've heard it since then, because I know it. Because I wasn't there for Jules' origin story. Wait.
Unless I said it.
Oh yeah, maybe.
Well, this is all
that
happening.
might be the case. Yeah, that definitely might be
But
the
anyway,
case.
Go on, Tom.
Yeah.
Cavan is folding this little piece of notepad paper a few times.
Cassian Vale. I have heard of this name, actually. I should have known. You said Eleanor. They rose to power very quickly. Very quickly, even within the ranks of the Serpent's Cloak. I'm assuming whatever you helped them steal has helped them in their endeavors.
Very likely it is. I'm not going to lie, I'm quite interested in what I helped them steal, but that may be a bridge too far. I simply wish
Do you really wish to get on the good side of the Serpent's Cloak, Jules?
I simply want them off my back. That is it. Anything more is a bonus.
You need to make yourself more dangerous than they are, then. Forget trading with them. This is just a stopgap. Eventually they will still come after you. You have slighted them. Make yourself more dangerous than they could possibly imagine.
You are not
To
just
go after
talking.
you-
You are not just talking about retaliation and killing one of theirs, because that would be folly,
No.
surely.
I am saying that if they come after you, it must be that they know there will be consequences more severe than just taking your life.
Okay.
You have
No,
allies in many places.
I understand this. I understand where you're coming from. I mean, then, if I may be so bold, is one simple... Well, no, I think you've already done it. I was going to say that, they attacked...
Just, Jewel, just ask it. Just ask it.
I'm trying. We were stabbed here, and I am sure that you are going to make sure they do not return into the city, but I presume that they have already know that that was a mistake to come into the city. If not, can I at least pass them the message?
Let me make them realize it was a mistake.
If there is any way that we can help there, we will help. But otherwise, I will return to my friends, and we will mull over the plan of how we make sure that we are more dangerous than they are.
I will have some strategic activities taken care of. They will know not to enter Union City again.
Wonderful, thank you. We are going to be on the road. We cannot exactly tell you where, because quite frankly we do not exactly know. Is there any way that your team can get in touch with us? We can get in touch with you, I believe.
I always have my ways if I need to.
Good.
You notice, even in this room, even though they are silent, there are at least 4 pitch black ravens in the room.
Cool. Then I think that is everything. Thank you ever so much for your help in the past few days. And
as you know by now, any friend of Gavin's is a dear friend of mine.
Jewel, is there anything else from Lex's perspective, or from Aegeus's perspective, or from any of the other bigger issues that, even if we don't think Mara has an immediate answer to, that we can leave with her, and at least she'll be aware that we're trying to move toward the answer to that question?
you are very much the collector of information here. If ever you hear of any portals, any of the dealings that we have spoken about numerous times, shadows and all those things, do please make sure that we get that information as quickly as possible. Protect
My little
Union
birds
City.
are already on the wing.
And
The
there
other
is
thing I have
there is a
looked at-
portal
sorry,
up in
Kumorio?
that is the one, which I'm sure you're aware of. Again, don't think that anything is going to come through, but always worth you knowing that it is there.
From what I understand of Kumorio, it is well protected. I have also put feelers out for this Klein individual I have heard mentioned numerous times, and I believe there was a shadow thorn or something along those lines.
Any information on either of those would be amazing.
Well,
Yes.
this was what I was just reading. Shadowthorn, specifically, has been spotted in Thalisar numerous times.
Well, that is the last time that we saw them, so...
Well, at least I can be of a little service, then.
I think
Is
we know
that
where we are
all
going.
in terms of business?
Kevin, I think that was everything.
Yeah, I just have a
Yes,
few
so
minutes.
Mara, thank you again. We really appreciate it. We shall see you soon. Gavin, I'm going to be outside.
Yeah.
Jewel bows, and then just...
Mara steps up and pulls you into a hug, Jewel. Let's lose the formality. We are far past that.
Jewel gives her a very tight hug back. I'm sure we'll see you at some
safe.
point.
I hope so. Do make it back in hopefully one piece.
I'll see you in a few, Joel.
See you in a few. Jewel puts her cloak up so to immediately become quite difficult to see, but we'll still head out the room and wait out the front of the manor.
Mara walks over to a goblet and pours a long glass of wine into it. Why do I think I'm going to need this?
No, it's good to see you. It's always good to see you, and I forget how fucking beautiful you are.
You're not so bad yourself, you know.
I guess I should say this before. I think you already know. I've got to go again. I've got to be with them. Yeah, and I feel guilty about it, and I feel like, and I'm thinking about what I said to the guys on the ship, and what Jewel had said to me, but also how Lex had looked at me on the ship, and I say, yeah, I mean, it's kind of good news, bad news. I feel better about myself. I feel like I'm getting to know myself a little bit better, but every time I see you, I have to go again, and that hurt. That like we can never, spend time together to really progress this thing. And
why do you feel guilty, Kevin? When have I ever given you the impression that guilt is warranted?
Have you been seeing anyone since I've been gone?
Really, Kevin?
I don't know. I just, I go for stretches at a time, and yeah, I sometimes wonder.
How can I put this plainly? For a long time, it has been you. It's always been you, Kevin.
Kevin takes a step back and pulls out that piece of paper that he has turned into a little twizzled ring. And he doesn't show it, but he puts it behind his back and he says, it's always been you, and I didn't know because you're you and you're in this town, but now I know. And he steps back and gets down on a knee and he says, I didn't have time, but if you take this, I promise I'll bring you something more deserving next time I see you. And if you take me, I promise I'll feel more deserving next time I see you. And he bows his head and just holds it to her.
First time, as you sort of lower your eyes, you do pay attention to her face for a minute, and there is tears just flowing down her face, and she gets down on her knees in front of you and just sort of takes your hands in hers as she places her hand around that paper ring, holds it in her hand for a moment, lifts your chin, she's lost for words for a moment, and is this what you really want, Kevin?
It's what I've always wanted. It's just I've never felt like I deserved it. I never thought. But yeah, it's what I've always wanted. Mara, you're you're pretty much every man's dream, and you've been my for moments you've been mine, and I'd love that to be forever.
I was yours from that first moment in the courtyard. So yes, Kevin. Yes. 1,000 times yes.
Well, and I just kind of grab her face and I say, fuck, Mara. Fuck.
Maybe later.
Fuck, Mara. This is And I just grab her and just really, really take her in for a deep, deep, deep hug. I love you, Mara.
And with that, her head goes down against your chest. You feel the tears literally rolling down, sort of over your pectoral. You don't know how long I have waited to hear those words from you.
I wipe her
everything about you, Kevin Buckland.
I'll be back. I'll be back as soon as I can. Those, and I turn to look at the ravens and I say, can we use those as our kind of like, just to let each other know how we're doing, how we're feeling? Is that possible?
She looks at one and whistles, and it flutters over and sort of lands gently on her arm. Even like she's not got any sort of falconry glove or anything like that, but you see even as the talons close around her arm, they are gentle. This was one of my first. Take him. If you need me, speak to him, and I will know.
I reach out my arm
what a
and I
time
say,
for a raid.
I reach out my arm and I say, I'll keep in touch. What's his name? Or her name?
I don't know if you could pronounce it in the native tongue, but roughly. Such a shit. Such a shit. Oh dear, it's alright. I'm also just going through because she has got names for all 5 of her ravens. Roughly speaking, it translates to morrow. Sorry, it translates to morrow, yes.
Okay. So I just call... Is it a female or a male?
Morrow is a he, male.
And I just reach my arm out and I say, come on, Mara. And I just put my arm right up against her forearm.
And Mara hops over. And again, you feel the gentlest sort of grip on your arm. You look after him, Mara.
I'll look after him.
Now.
we'll look after each other, and we will be back soon. And I tell Mara, if you ever have any doubts or don't hear from me or something happens to me, just know that I love
She
you.
stops you.
And I put that in her.
Before, no, it goes to stop you, and you say you love her again, and her hand sort of stops. And my mother once said this to my father: "Come back with your shield. If you cannot do that, come back on it. I know what path you tread. I am prepared for that potential inevitable end. Just to call you mine is all I will ever need, Kevin."
And I just pull her in, kiss the top of her head, and say, I think they're waiting for me. I have to go again, and I'm fucking dying to not have to go again, but fuck's sake, there's no real easy way for me to just say goodbye. You know, it's like I want to stay, but I want to kiss you more, and I want to
There will be time for that. There will be more than time for that. So let me make this easier for you. I have stuff to do, Kevin. Get out of my library.
Yeah. Thanks, Mara. And I back out. And I just blow a
She
kiss at
runs
her.
up to you as you back out again, and just another kiss, another hug, and then she steps back, takes a deep breath. Get out. Go. Go, go, go. Oh, Kevin, sorry. Oh, almost forgot. Gives this to Edgius? She holds out a scroll.
Of course. And I back away. And
I suppose
as
actually
I'm walking,
that is for all of you, not just Edgius, but Edgius specifically.
I will. And I
Go.
turn around and just without looking back and just start walking. And I start crying and just wipe tears. And I see Jewel down at the end of the hallway, and I say, "Okay, I'm good, Jewel. Let's make a move."
Unbeknownst to everyone then, Mara takes that paper ring and slides it on her finger and looks at it longingly. Sits, takes a very, very long sip of wine, and then returns to her book that she was writing in. And I think with that bombshell, we are going to take a very short break. So thank you so much. What a fucking first half.
Jesus Christ, guys.
That's fucking awesome.
Fucking hell.
Do you think that
guys.
scroll is telling us we're not invited to the wedding already?
Yeah, not allowed.
You are politely requested to be in another county, yeah.
Do you know what? It was the line from Tom where he said, by the way, I think Tom is frozen or something.
Oh man,
but it was
yes.
It's
was
caught
the
in
line-
motion.
It's the line from Tom where he goes, and hopefully I'll be more deserving when we come. I'll feel like I'm more deserving when we come back. Dude, that shit is
Indeed.
powerful. God.
That dude has
damn.
unbound levels of self-loathing. It's unreal.
Yeah, it's crazy. What I love though is that Tom's PC held out just to do that, and then even the PC went, "That was too emotional."
Right, let's go for
So with
break,
that
and
being
hopefully
said,
can
we
get it
are
back.
going to take a very short break. Yes, we will be back in probably 5 or so minutes, just to make this really quick. And yeah, find out what's going on in part 2. Thank you for the raid again. Love you all. And we'll see you in a minute.
Hey.
Hey!
Nailed it, Dave.
Absolutely nailed it, mate. There we go. Fantastic stuff. So, yes, what a way to finish the first half.
Phenomenal.
Welcome back for part 2. Cavan, Jewel, you make your way back to the Ebonmirth and back up to the Varricks and Skydocks. Anything you want to say between the two of you, or is it going to go left unsaid? What's going on?
Jewel would pass a small bit of cloth to Kevin, just to, if he wanted to wipe his eye.
Yeah.
A tissue. But otherwise wouldn't say anything, would have a smile on her face, but would also would probably just be taking in Union City until Kevin spoke.
Kevin takes the tissue, wipes, the tears, and holds the scroll and says, "Mara gave this to me to hand to the group. She said she wanted me to hand it to Edgius, but it's for all of us." And then I turn to Jewel and I say, "And also, I'll tell the group, Jewel, but fucking I'm telling you first, because you helped me with this. I'm fucking engaged, man. I'm engaged."
What? And she stops and grabs your arm and then just spins you around and be like, "Hi, are you serious?"
I'm serious, and I feel like you had a big part in just getting me to think about what was important to me. And I just go up to Jewel and I give Jewel a hug and I say thank you.
Jewel sort of, almost slams into the hug and gives you this, the little sister hug sort of thing, and just be like,
Yeah.
From somewhere around your midriff you hear, "Oh, that is absolutely amazing."
I'm fucking engaged tomorrow. Fuck it, let's go.
Sorry,
Abs.
Yeah.
Let's go. I feel like running. Do you mind if we run back? And I start going into a slight
Absolutely.
jog.
Yeah. She keeps pace with you and runs alongside with you.
As we're running, I look up.
I will be quiet. I won't tell them. It's you first.
All right, I'll be first. And I look up and I'm like, I'm fucking engaged. Kevin Buckland is engaged. And I just keep running. And I don't say Mara's name.
As you run past, there's two dudes who are sat outside, and one of them's got a tankard, and you run past, and they both kind of look, and they're like, "What?" And fucking just let you run past.
Kevin's gay? What is he on about?
There's a bard that has a big horn and sort of his. Well, if there's any moment for a fanfare.
I stop for a second. I kind of hold my arm out to Jewel, and we do a little do-si-do, just like a little swirl, and then we continue on.
That is going to be brilliant. In the newspapers, you're going to be apparently engaged to me with that fanfare, but oh well. Such a thing.
That's true, I didn't.
The scandal already.
Didn't even think about it.
Very good. So you sprint off to the Ebonmirth, and you run past the individual that sort of small individuals are unloading crates, and as you approach, they just sort of hold onto the crate quite close to themselves and guard it, and then you run past and run up to the Ebonmirth. Hey, you keep going, you bastards! You're not getting this fucking crate, are you?
Nice, man. Nice.
You run up onto the ship, and Romeo's just sort of there at the top of the gangplank, and just sort of, whoa, there. Well, welcome back.
Thank you. The rest of them
Well,
back?
Takami's over there. Callum and Lex are somewhere. In fact, I saw Callum chucking his guts up over the side. I hope that didn't go down the ship. And Edgius, I think, is down in your room. So, have at it.
Brilliant.
I have got the contract, by the way, and sort of waves as you fuck off. Just like, we'll talk about it later.
Back in 10.
I tell Jewel, I'll catch up with Lex in a minute, and I start heading downstairs to where Edgius is. I open the
You
door.
enter the room with Edgius.
I open the door, and I come up to Edge, and I say,
You walk in to see Edgius in the middle of the room, and he has got his sleeves rolled up, and you can see the training weights that he attached to his wrists, like very present. But he's not like training as you've seen him train in the past. You can see him holding a broom with his hands two-handed, but then he has his katana in his mouth and is like holding the blade in his mouth basically, and is like swirling around with his head like spinning, and he's almost using the fact that his head can like rotate fully, just like almost using it as like a propeller, as he's then also like swinging the broom and practicing a new sword fighting technique he hopes to implement when he's got his giant sword, and then then with his little sword.
It's fucking dust everywhere.
It's
"Whoa, dude!"
It climbs to the ground. Oh.
What is that?
I'm just I'm trying to like think about how I would fight, like if like when I get my big sword, like that's gonna be like two hands, it's gonna be heavy. So I was like, if I put my other sword in my mouth, maybe I can like like go and still dual wield somehow or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, I think I understand, but that's fucking crazy, man. Like, never mind. Actually, I hold out the scroll and I say, Mara wanted me to hand you this. Yeah. This is she wanted me to hand it to the person that I want to be my best man. And I reach it out to him.
Edgius takes the scroll, unpops the cord, and goes, "It's a very strange thing for her to tell you to do," and begins like
a piece of paper falls down to the floor.
As it falls down and like rolls down onto the ground, Edgius is going to be like, pause for a second, and you're going to see his hand stop moving as you see him kind of tilt his head around the side of the scroll and go, "Wait, what did you say? Say that again."
Jewel would have the biggest grin on her face at this point, just behind Cavan, like.
Say that again. What did you say?
I said what you thought I said.
Edgius throws the scroll to the side and just fucking hugs you like in a deep, deep embrace, and is like, "Oh, the gods be! Oh God! I'm gonna have to write a song. I'm gonna have to write many songs. I'm already feeling the inspiration bubbling up. I would be glad to. Are you sure? I mean, like Lex would be way more organized. He would like remember where the rings are and things like. Are you sure?
Edgius, shut the fuck up. Edgius. And I just look at him and I'm like, I'd be fucking honored. You're my best man. Just say yes.
Oh, dude. That's so sick. Oh. Edgius just like doesn't know what to do with himself. He's just like, wait, who'd you get engaged to?
Oh, for fuck's sake, and I
Wait, who said yes?
Very funny.
Jewel holds up a ring on her finger like, ooh.
I'm like, because Jewel is looking real happy behind you, and it's freaking me out right now, guys. There's something you need to tell me?
Don't be stupid, Edgius. I'm just so very happy for him.
Yeah.
Oh,
she's
okay.
Yeah.
It's the Black Veils, huh? Are we? Well, at least it's a good family, dude. Does that mean
Edgius.
Oh shit! No, Cavan. Cavan, hear me out.
I turn to Jewel and I'm like, I should have waited.
You take her last name,
You
and
only have
then
yourself
you
to blame.
own 1/7 of the city. We can rebuild that stupid church as whatever the fuck we want. We can make it anything we want. You own 1/7. Become a black veil. You go take her name.
Aegis. Not to put too fine a point on it, but let's all concentrate on making sure that we all make it back. Our first...
Good point.
If you get my drift, our first and most important point is making sure we all get back. Yes?
Yeah. Totally. We'll worry about rebuilding the church later, but we're gonna do it. Like, dude, the Jarl's Hearth, we could, that could be our hearth. No longer the Jarl. I don't know who Jarl is. I've never met the guy. But and I, it could be the Cavern and Edgius hearth.
Jewel hands you back the handkerchief that is just long enough to tie his face shut.
I take it and I say...
I imagine at this point Lex rejoins Takami and Callum will enter as well.
And that's... I
grab Cavan's shoulders and spin you towards Lex and those guys and push you at them. And go, guys, listen.
Yeah, I would have told everyone at once, but I saw each of you differently and separately, but Mara and I are eventually, once we get back and once we fucking fix the world and everything, and I go over to Lex and I'm like, yeah, you helped me, man. You helped me. You helped me.
I'm gonna need some context here.
Takami and Callum slowly close the door and just back out.
Yeah, context is... No, Takami, come on, just come on back in.
Oh,
Callum,
did you tell her? Is that what happened? You told her?
Yeah, Lex. I fucking told her that she was the one that I always had thought about and that I loved and that I would be honored to marry, and you were a big part of me being able to do that.
Marry, Lex, hear that?
You're gonna... Does that mean we get a bachelor stag? Or whatever that's called?
It's just a stag in a suit that we bring a gift to Gavin.
Yeah, it's literally a dead elk.
One of the moose somewhere is twitching.
Oh yeah, I was just going to say that we are definitely going to leave in Union City, by the way, but that's by the by.
I turn to Callum and Takami and I say, yes, okay, finally, I'll just say it one last time. I am engaged and I'm super happy about it, and everyone is invited to the wedding and everyone here is part of my my wedding party, and but fucking that's not going to be for a while, so happy to
Callum
throw up a
goes,
drink here.
Hold that thought, darling, and Misty steps and just disappears for a minute, and then sort of you hear the clinking of glass as they come running back. And they come running back with arms full of these mason jars. This calls for an absolute fucking huge celebration. Everybody take a bunk, and just passes out these mason jars, which are full of disses, like lime moonshine, effectively. I'm told it's for sipping, but fuck it.
Gavin
Have
and
you already
Mara.
vomited? Never mind. I'll just dip my tongue in it.
It's strong.
Two tongues.
Yeah.
Right.
Fork tongue.
New plan, guys. Fuck the crystalline owl. We just must protect Kevin at all costs.
I was
That's
just
the
going to
new
say
plan.
that we have made a wonderful plan of putting Kevin at the front of every single fight, and now neither
Kevin
of
at
us
the
are
back.
going to want
Kevin
to do
Cavan's
that.
at the back.
No. Look, listen. If I'm going to have the wedding that I want, then everyone in this room is going to be there. So, same plan.
But you need to be there too. With
Exactly.
all of your limbs.
I will be
hopefully.
there.
Yeah.
Lex, I will fucking be there.
He's
I'll
got
be at
to
the
have a
front.
couple of scars to make him just as handsome, though. Sure.
That's exactly right. Right. So let's and I pull out the scroll and I say, let's hit pause on this, and I guess refocus on And I hand this to Aegeus. Mara wanted us to see this. I don't even know what it is. I didn't open it, but it's for all of us.
So Takami at this point runs up to you, Cavan, sort of gives you a hug, kisses you on the cheek. I know you don't want to make a big thing. Oh, by the way, Aegeus, this is addressed directly to you. And that piece of paper that fell to the floor, she holds up.
Oh, what, the scroll?
No,
a piece of
so
paper that
you
fell
open
out
the
of it.
scroll and a piece of parchment, a little piece of paper fell out, but it says Aegeus on it.
Oh, cool. What?
It just says, if in doubt,
Well-
shut the fuck up.
Wow, what a great flashcard. Oh my god, this is actually going to be really helpful. This is like actually so helpful. Who did this? Which one of you guys? Because this is great. I love this.
Hey,
Is fantastic.
Takami walks up
guess
to
what it
Aegeus
says?
and fucking opens the letter. Read it, dickhead.
Pause. I'm like, firstly, before I read anything, it seems the crew have kindly left gifts for everyone on their beds, and gestures to poorly wrapped gifts all over the room. Mine was really nice.
Aegeus, is there a reason why one of your pinky fingers is stuck into some sellotape on mine?
I was gonna look at what I was trying to get into yours to try and see what it was, and I left. I didn't.
You
and
bought
I
us
take
gifts, didn't you?
Back to place.
Thank you, Aegeus.
Terrible liar. Terrible liar.
What? Sorry, come on, Aegeus. What is this? What is this thing?
I open the letter, and I begin.
Are you opening the letter or the scroll first?
The scroll first, because it feels like the letter was like to be read after, because or else the scroll would have been in the letter.
Says, under no circumstances read the scroll first.
Scroll.
But
That scroll is an
As you
incantation. The moment you say the
unfurl-
words.
As you unfurl this scroll, then you very quickly realise that this is a note of repute. It is calligraphically etched in the style of a deed of sorts, and you read as you open this up. It's a scroll of commendation and grant. To whom these presents come, greetings. In the city of Union, where the crossroads of the world unite under the watchful gaze of the Aethernair peaks, the esteemed ruling houses of Union City hereby acknowledge and commend the valorous deeds and unwavering service of the Planar Detective Agency. There is a subheading, recognition and gratitude. Let it be known that through their steadfast dedication to the safety of our citizens and the protection of the innocent, the Planar Detective Agency has demonstrated exemplary heroism and skill. Their contributions have not only thwarted dire threats to our beloved city, but have also furthered the cause of peace and prosperity. It then says, freedom of the city. In recognition of their noble acts, we, the undersigned representatives of the ruling houses, do hereby grant the members of the Planar Detective Agency the esteemed privilege of freedom of the city. This ancient honour permits them the right to bear arms within the city walls, the liberty to pass through the city gates at will, and the freedom from all city dues and tolls, reflecting their trusted status among our people. The next subheading says grant of premises. Furthermore, in gratitude for their service and to facilitate their ongoing endeavours, a premise within the city's esteemed district, known for its strategic location and historical significance, is hereby granted to the Planar Detective Agency. This site shall serve as their headquarters, from which they may continue to guard our city's well-being and uphold the tenets of justice and order.
Oh, they're going to
Another
regret that.
subheading reads reconstruction of the orphanage. Moreover, in honour of their selfless action and the values they uphold, the ruined orphanage will be rebuilt and rededicated in the true image and reverence of Paragon, ensuring a safe and nurturing environment for the orphans of Union City, guided by the principles of courage, justice, and integrity. and it says closing invocation. May this scroll stand as a testament to the courage and virtue of the Planar Detective Agency. Let their names be etched in the annals of history and their deeds remembered for generations. We, the collective voices of Union City, pledge our continued support and appreciation. In witness whereof, we have hereunto subscribed our names and affixed the seals of the ruling houses of Union City on this day in the presence of the esteemed assembly of our peers. And you see the signatures and seals of all 7 ruling houses of Union City.
Holy shit.
Well, we've
We're a
peaked. That's
franchise
we're going to
now, guys.
achieve this campaign, mate. Tell you that
Joel,
now.
Joel takes particular care of one of the names, which is the would have been the family name of the person who was killed at the ball. She just stares at that name slightly longer, knowing that unfortunately couldn't save everyone, but we've done right for a change.
Guys, while I was reading this and finding out that we're now a franchise, I had an idea. We have, if we're going to make Union City the main headquarters, then let's get Gibby and the old lady to hire some good detectives in Dryad's Gate, or at least send us some CVs to Union City. And then we can start having the Planar Detective Agency expand. Exactly.
At the very least,
Bring in
Edgies,
some money.
what we need to do is make sure that in every location that we can, these are the 2, that there is someone that people can come to a location and drop off their inquiry with rewards and so on, and that information can pass to us. We need to become, and looks to Cavan, our very own mini good serpent's cloak. We need to be the good
A
transfer of
cross-continental
power.
agency.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we need to be able to provide places where people can pass this information, but also come to us for they need help. So yes, you're right, we need detectives, but first of all, we need to gain a foothold. So I think we need to just employ someone for 6 months to just be at our premises here. Did it say whether we had a specific premises or we need to find something?
I think it's being rebuilt. From what I understood, they're rebuilding the church to be our premises where the orphanage was. They're
not
rebuilding
what it said. It said they're rebuilding the orphanage in
the orphanage.
true image and reverence of Paragon. So they are making it a new orphanage.
But there was something about
Rededicating it in the vision.
there was
So the
something
bit
about
that
a right of premises.
it said the grant of
That was
premises,
it.
which basically says a premise within the city's esteemed district known for its strategic location and historical significance is hereby granted to the Planar Detective Agency. Edgius, would you like to open your letter?
Sure. I first of all, I would like to also say this, guys. We talked about this earlier, when Takami and that when you guys weren't here before, when you disappeared for a little bit, but when you came back. Idea. You guys mentioned that if we leave, some of the people that we meet along the way, what if at some point Takami and Callum can represent us in Union City, then Mace represents us in Stonebark, Gibby in Dryad's Gate, and if we continue making people, then we can just portal jump our way across the continent for when people need us. But we almost have this network of people that can contact us along the way.
I could not
We'll
Callum
agree
start
leans
more.
paying
into
people at some
Takami.
point.
I think we've made it into the inner circle, darling.
Yeah.
Obviously Takami and Callum, we need you to come with us now, but I'm saying in the future, when we're epiloguing this story, it would be awesome to think of you guys running one branch and Gibby.
Edgius. I
Yeah.
think you might be getting a little bit ahead of yourself.
Look, guys, I just know that there was a leaf that we were fucking stuck under, and we have turned that leaf over. And Edgius is going to open the letter. Please tell me it's my.
You do
please tell me it's my
recognize
office.
Mara's. You recognize Mara's script, and it just says, I'll read it in my voice rather than Mara's. It just says, "Dear Egius, I understand that there might be emotional connections and past traumas that you may not wish to revisit, but I have asked that the Planar Detective Agency is rebuilt on the ruins of your old office. A new future to be forged for the Planar Detective Agency, where Egius Jones, private investigator, once had such success. I want to let you know that I have asked for the graves of your wife and son to be dedicated properly in the honours and traditions of Union City. Let this be a new beginning." And it's just signed Mara Blackveil.
Guys, we've got ourselves a fucking digs! And Ed just throws the note up in the air and just starts like dancing around with everyone.
And I'll start
He's got,
dancing
like,
as well, and I don't know why.
Jewel will lunge out and grab the letter, and in, with Edge's dancing excitement, we'll just quickly read it. Oh my God, this is something we.
Next another mason jar.
Edgies, this is amazing. This is truly amazing. Surely this is something we need to just, tie off temporarily. Just, I don't know, find someone trustworthy, give them 6 months' wages, and get them ready to drop in. I don't know. I don't know how to do this.
I'm just going to remind us all of how well that went last time.
Yeah, it went brilliant.
What about the guy
absolutely
who stole the
superbly.
crates off?
Just absolutely phenomenal.
I
about
was
the guy
about
we
to
stole
say
the
the
crate
guy
off?
that
He'll be
we
a good
stole the
business
crate
discussion.
off. I was about to say that.
Yeah.
I think he's a great idea.
But honestly, if there's got to be people, wanting jobs, and we can make sure that Mara keeps an eye on the place. So
Actually, let's give jobs to the fucking orphans. We say one of them.
Well, they've
Yes.
left, but they've
Yes.
left. But there are other ones who surely know the friends of those orphans.
Yeah. I was going to say as well, I also know a really old, grumpy guy who does not like people talking at all. And he has very little on his schedule. Ain't that right, Takami? Ain't that right?
We all know that
you
is not
seriously
going to work.
suggesting Sensei comes down from Kumario to sit and look after your office?
I mean, if we pay him well enough, I don't see why he wouldn't.
We haven't paid anybody
no.
to date
Perhaps-
for any
Absolutely
services.
not.
So
Find
Perhaps
somebody
we
else.
make a good connection to those of the orphanage, one of the eldest who are about to leave, and we set them up.
yeah. We can set up an apprentice scheme so all the orphanages
Exactly.
are guaranteed jobs.
Look, all at the moment is simply pass on the message to Mara, perhaps. That's simply going to be their job, and we can then pass the information more as we go. Okay?
We can end up being a
I've got-
university at this point.
I shout out to the Planar Detective Agency already being the true philanthropic organisation of the city.
Fuck yeah.
It's not even been built yet.
2 days
Exactly. It's still fucking rubble, but yeah.
Okay, look. We need to get the fuck out of here.
Yes.
It sounds like we've done what we need to do. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go hail one of those like little messenger fellows that runs around, and I'll go let him know to go hire the orphans, to go hire the old guy with the crate.
Edges, no. Look.
I thought
one
we
of us-
said the orphans and the old guy.
Yes, no, just
Gotta
the
be built
orphans.
first, though, man.
Just the orphans.
No, we need to repay the old guy. Look, man.
Okay,
I've turned
you-
over
okay,
a new leaf. He
okay.
didn't deserve me to just steal his crate.
We did
And
also,
also, he seems responsible.
we did pay him, and I'm sure he's got
You
a very
paid
busy.
him?
We've got a very busy job.
Yeah.
He has. So look, we give someone
So I didn't
else.
steal anything.
No.
I was feeling so good about
Technically,
that.
you
the
did,
other
and
day.
I retrospectively
Yes.
paid for it, like I pay for most of your antics in some way,
So
shape,
look-
or form.
All I'm going to say, Aegeus, is your soul is somewhat still intact as a result. But that's a good thing, by the way.
Thank you. Look, let's get the fuck out of here. We can celebrate on the ship tonight. Let's cook dinner for the crew, and we'll have a big meal for Kevin, and we'll celebrate with the crew. I'm sure they would appreciate a well-cooked meal from everyone, and a night off from tending to the ship as we begin our voyage to. Well, I'd like to go to Stonebarn first. Jewel, I know you mentioned the place. I can never remember the place. All the places in this region, I feel sound the same, especially when they're in your accent, Jewel. I really struggle with it.
I don't understand what you have a problem with. They sound extremely different to me. But no.
Casual racism.
Yeah.
We need to go to Dryad's Gate, and we need to make sure that we get the ring back. And then, if it is all the same to you, I think it is well worth our time, and I will explain later why we need to make our way to Eleanor, and we need to buy our freedom from the Serpent's Cloak, as well as I would like all of your opinion on or advice in how we scare the shit out of them. To hopefully put them in line. I think it is well worth our time to make sure that they see things from our side of view.
I
And then
I know that that's
Stonebark,
been
and then
something.
Crystalline Isle. That's the direction.
Stonebark, Dryad's Gate, Eleanor, Crystalline Isle.
And then Thalyssa. Well, actually, I don't know that.
And then
Sorry.
Thalyssa.
I don't know
No,
that
we
yet.
don't.
My bad.
Then we might need to go to Thalyssa. There you go, Edges.
Did Morris
way, what's
spies?
in
Produce
All
Thalyssa,
them?
information has been shared.
What's in Thalyssa, Jewel? What? Wild. Why do we need to go there?
Mara may have some information that Shadowthorn?
Yep.
Shadowthorn has been seen regularly, multiple times in Thalyssa. We have definitely seen them there once. I happen
Well, let's
to...
hopefully we find some intel in his hideout, and then we can fuck that guy up.
We do.
Let's
We
fuck
do
him
indeed.
up.
So Takami sort of chimes up at this point, and probably Callum at the same time, like, not sure that's the best route. We probably want to go Stonebark, I think you said, is like on the edge of the peaks, and then Eleanor, then Dryad's Gate, and then all the way across to the Crystalline Isle.
Sure. That is fine.
Sure.
Yeah,
Otherwise,
whatever
you're
the
going
navigator says
around,
is
come
the
back,
most-
and then back
whatever, yeah.
round, and I have no. I just saying
I will let the captain plot the route. It is fine
Yeah.
by me.
Good shout.
that's
good
a
shout,
smart
Joel.
move. Let's do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're all going to
Guys,
get drunk and have a freak
Very
off
good.
now, is what we're saying.
Wow. Okay. I was going to say something nice.
Anyway,
I mean, if the rest of the group would agree with this, I would say that with, let's say, the hour left or whatever, Jewel would take some money from Lex and probably go to the orphanage, work out if anyone's there, talk to them, tell them to speak to both Mara and also the keeper of what's the tavern we went to, and basically like,
That's all
Girls are-
right, and just very
Yeah,
quickly be
half,
like,
yeah.
right, you're set up now as our liaison here. Treat us well, and and basically, actually, would say to go to the tavern for their weekly wages. There you go. Works out
I
so that
have
it's
not
sensible.
paid Romeo yet, and we've only got 1,300 quid left.
It's fine.
How much have you took?
Look. Here's what I would say.
What's
So,
the weekly
I
wage?
will-
30
I will
gold. There you go.
solve this. You go to and Jewel, as you're running around the city, you run past the old office, and you see it is now sort of almost cordoned off, and there is the symbol of House Blackvale outside as construction efforts continue. You run over to the orphanage, and you again see the symbol of House Blackvale as the orphanage itself is being reconstructed. You do find a priest and sort of explain the situation, and a true priest of Paragon sort of explains, actually,
Yeah,
this
look,
will be
you
amazing.
see a priest and
Yes,
kill him
we can
outright
have-
straight away.
Oh shit! Sorry.
But you explain, and they sort of, actually, yes, we have got some orphans, some members of the clergy that would happily do that. You run over to Rurik, and Rurik's just like, I got the tavern to run, fuck you. and sort of sends you on your way. But you get the impression that actually Mara's got this shit handled. You then get back to the ship, and you can see Romeo's there with a scroll himself, reading it, and he just looks at you, looks down at the scroll, looks at you. Why is it whenever you come on the ship, I end up not getting paid?
What do you mean? We said we would pay you.
Does that mean
Well, okay,
it's
I'm
free
being
because we're that
paid,
important?
but... No, you've got fucking freedom of the city, or wherever the fuck that means. But, yeah, so... I don't get money from you. I have to go and collect it from the fucking... Get on board. Fuck my life.
I'm sure it is well worth the trouble, the amount that you will get paid.
Oh yeah, this holds out the contract and then just takes a torch off the side of the ship. About fucking useful that is.
Yeah, but right? If it's the city who's
So
paying,
glad to
you
see
can put
you
an
too,
extra
Romeo.
zero on the end.
I'm so pleased you're back on board. Try not to die this time.
Hey!
And he fucking runs off to the helm.
We're
No
cooking
blow.
dinner for you all tonight with your food. Thank you.
Romeo turns around and says, "Somebody else is cooking? Who's cooking? Sorry, what? Who's cooking?"
We are, as a group, as a team, as a family.
Send free, you're off duty. Thank fuck for that.
We've got you guys tonight. Enjoy.
You know
Enjoy,
that
Captain.
Very
smoke,
good.
that smoke alarm is
Oxtail
not a
soup?
timer,
Ooh,
you know?
maybe not.
There was a lot of shit just happened there. I have no idea what went on. But
I yelled down.
I
into
will
the
say
cook's
then-
quarters. I yelled down into the cook's quarters. I'll be right down, guys. I'll see you in 1 second. And I've got a drink I'm holding in my hand, and I make my way to the back of the ship, looking over Union City. And I say, Seraphiel, are you around?
you feel that sort of flutter behind you and a warm radiance. I'm always around, Cabin.
Yeah,
Nice to be somewhere
know.
warmer.
Yeah, you probably already know, since you kind of know everything. I just want to, man, what a fucking day. I'm just a little orphan kid, and I got engaged today, and I'm technically now a landowner. And I've got real friends.
Cabin, if you've
and,
not figured it out just yet, sorry to interrupt you, my friend, but it's important. You are so much more than an orphan. Do not let that define you. You are a brave man, a friend, a hero, a savior, a champion, and a husband-to-be.
It's amazing to even hear that. I don't even feel like those words are coming toward me, but every time I hear things like that, I'm starting to believe it. So I just wanted you to pass along to Paragon. I kind of think I'm starting to get it, and I just want to say I'm going to continue to try. And I also want to say, can you just keep a lookout for my friends and my future wife, and I'll do the same on my end. And yeah, just fucking tell him thanks, man. What a fucking day. And I take a drink.
What a day, indeed. And Seraphiel sort of kneels down, because Seraphiel's tall as fuck, but kneels down next to you and says, Paragon already knows, Kevin. You see, he's here, and points at your heart.
Yeah, I'm starting to understand that. Anyway.
Enjoy the day, Kevin.
Yeah, we've got a party, we've got dinner. Oh, you already know. Gotta go make some dinner and celebrate. Here's to Paragon.
Seraphiel sort of has no glass, but then magics up a goblet, clinks it, takes a sip, but then places it. It just disappears, but then kneels down and just sort of places a hand on the back of your head and plants a kiss on your forehead. Farewell, champion of Paragon. I'm sure I will see you soon. And he's gone.
All right, guys. What am I on? Am I chopping? Am I cutting? Am I cleaning? You name it. And I start heading downstairs into the
Jules
galley.
in just a big hairnet, as per kitchen safety protocol.
Fucking hazmat suit.
Incredible.
Fantastic.
Absolutely.
Amazing then. So as all this is going on, I will say that Takami stays in the room afterwards and looks down at the gift, unwraps it and takes out a necklace with a skull on it and just looks down and she unclasps it and places it around her neck. And she wanders up onto the main deck and just looks out at the front of the ship. You all, while you're cooking, just feel the ship lift. And it's like static electricity just washes over all of you. Everybody's hair stands on end. Jewel looks like she's just gone. Yeah, just like a full puffball. You see the two Minotaur individuals. You see the two Minotaur individuals as well, just walking around like, whoa, as they're all puffed up as well. Romeo walks in his hair, that's this usual like perfect quiff and style. It's just. And I should point out.
I also put a finger out to like Kevin's cheek and it zaps and I'm like.
There's arcane energy just roils throughout the ship. You cook a fantastic meal and the ship sort of raises into the air, and at some point Romeo just brings it about and sort of almost docks and hovers in the air somewhere over the Aetherneer peaks between Union City and Stonebark. And as the sun sets, you all partake of this amazing meal and drink. Dis gets incredibly drunk. Crodmar comes down from the crow's nest and sort of re-engages with yourself. Jules sort of rekindles that friendship that was budding at the time. Crodmar gets horrendously drunk and ends up falling asleep upside down in a barrel somewhere. Rend is just stood there silently watching throughout all of this. And there is a moment where Takami just sort of chuckles to herself and takes a drink and stands right at sort of the front of the ship, just looking out over the sky.
Jewel at some point goes to the starboard side and will look out over Union City, and she's got a drink in her hand and she just closes her eyes, takes a deep breath in, and when she opens she's taking that full effect from both the Watcher and of the Lord of Winter, and it's like the Union City is in intense miniature detail that she can even still see people moving around. Just see.
I will say, as you then start to tap into the feet as well, Kumaryu starts to stand out as well. You see peach blossoms along the mountaintops, turreted buildings, and that Asian-inspired architecture, if you like. An illusion is unmasked.
And she just... She's got she's got a very slight smile on her face as she's just looking over, and she says in her head a thank you, sort of to both, but also a promise to herself that she will use this. That these are gifts not to be squandered. And she just keeps on looking. Go on, Aegis.
No. Fucking stunning. Aegis will go step up next to Takami, and will not look at her, but will just look outwards. And she'll be like, you know, as a bard, I hope to be able to tell epic tales, and I guess I never thought I would tell one about the things that I did with people that I loved. Yeah, it's crazy. I don't even know what's beyond Enoweth. And yet I feel like somehow what we're about to do is going to change the world. Thanks for being here. Yeah, I appreciate you, and still need you.
You see the subtle smile on her face as she looks down. And she looks out. She doesn't look at you, she just looks out over the ship and out to the sky beyond and at the sunset. You know, Aegeus, even the smallest ripples make the biggest waves. I didn't just get sent. I asked to come. You're not the only one that needs things.
Aegeus will
just sort of unconsciously goes to that necklace for a moment and then comes down.
Aegeus will hold out his tankard, and as Takami brings hers in, he's gonna like cheers with her, and like a bit of my like drink is gonna go into hers, and it's gonna be like this like little frothy thing as he looks at me and he goes, I've got this bard troupe that I want to show you at some point. They're a group of elementals, very, very strange to see live. They're called Earth, Wind, and Fire. I think they really like them.
I thought it was
I knew
Earth,
where
Wind,
it
and
was
Light,
going, but it
yeah.
still got me when you said it.
Yes.
And I imagine it will pan away as they like continue chatting, looking out over the sunset.
So I'll say this as you continue chatting.
As we sail up into the sunset.
Well, at some point, Callum just sort of gets another of these lime moonshine drinks, necks it, and, and then begins to sing. Pour us another sake that they'll flow, heave ho, and up sheer. And it's totally discordant, just all over the ship. But Vala then joins in, and Romeo, Dis, even Rend in that mechanical voice, Senfra, and I forget the name of the other Minotaur because I've not looked it up in the last fucking hour.
Keith.
And a sea shanty begins that is called Ale of the Ancients and rings out aboard the Ebon Mirth as a celebration is had to commemorate past deeds and new beginnings. And on that fitting note, I think we will close this episode of Malt and Magic Campaign 2. And it's a good close, because we also then go next week into a recap to begin the next arc of Campaign 2 when we return.
Oh my god, so much has happened.
So yeah, a fantastic close. Thank you all for being amazing players. What an episode! Even though it's just been roleplay, like just fucking brilliant. Well, no, well done to you all, because yes, Tom stole the show, but you've all had those little moments, and it's all been amazing. So yes, thank you to you. Thank you to our raiders. Thank you to our our fans that continue to support us as well. We love you all. Anything else from anyone to add before we close?
Dude, Matt, I can't tell you how much this group has been needing a fucking win, and that was like I'm not sure if anyone else is just feeling the levity right now. If anyone else is feeling like a weight just got lifted, that is wild.
I think you're right on that
I've
one.
never played D&D and felt more fucking like thankful for fucking a little win, man. Yeah. It's
everybody needs a party on board an airship.
But party on board an airship.
Detective
We've
Agency.
franchised the agency. We know where we're going.
Are we the first D&D group to go to a city and actually make it better than we came in? We left it better than when we. Yeah.
Oh shit! Yeah, sorry guys. We fucked that up.
We've broken the trend.
We've broken the trend. Shit. Hang on. I'm sure I can reach someone from here with a dagger.
We're the only people who went murder hobo on a church and we made the place better.
Incredible.
Oh no, I've gone cross-eyed.
I feel like this is like the end of the Fellowship when Aragon and those guys like dash off into the forest and they're like, we can help them, from our own thing. It feels like that vibes.
Yeah.
Let's go hunt some orc.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
We dwarves are natural sprinters. Yeah, I love it. Oh
Very
my god,
good,
loved
then.
it.
Well, with that being said then, yes, next week will be a reduced cast because a number of us are away, but we will be doing a recap of, when I remind myself,
From episode
about 30 episodes.
268. So
I think
so.
it's 48 to
I need to
68
fucking
or
watch
something
that.
like that.
nice. Well, there we go. So
It is... Yeah, I'll figure it out. It's on social media.
We
Go and fucking
will
check social media. It's all in there.
in there, presumably also cover the specials that we've done, the Orbital Blues amazing ending that we had from the
That was
amazing Bodhi the Unexceptional, which is not true, GM. And then we will hopefully talk about a bit of Monster of the Week, just our backgrounds to why we started doing that. But yeah, hope you all enjoy our lovely chinwag, and of course ask as many questions as you like, and we will hope to answer.
Yes, please do. I will
Just me and Dave,
post
innit?
out, in fact,
Next
I'll
week?
get... Oh, so I think
No,
it
it's
is
me
just
too.
the two of you. So,
Oh,
no,
and
Bodhi's
Bodes.
in. Bodhi's
Oh,
in.
yeah,
You're in, Buzz.
Bodhi has
think-
no
I
idea what he's doing.
He does. No, you're not in, dude.
Am I not in? What? I feel like I'm in, aren't I?
If you're in, mate,
You're
that's
down as a
fantastic.
maybe. You're down as a maybe.
I was
This
gonna
this
say,
is
I
how
had it as a
organised
maybe. I'm
Molten
pretty sure
Magic
I'm
is, folks. But, yes, so there will be at least 2 people to discuss episodes 58 through 68, plus the Orbital Blues finale, and also Monster of the Week. And the end. Yes, when we come back, we will go straight into episode 69. Before closing off Spooky Season month with Call of Cthulhu. And then as we go into November, there is lots more goodies in store. More Campaign 2, more Monster of the Week, and also we are having a massive guest episode of Campaign 2 as well, with up to 4 guest stars, including the party.
I'm going to be
so yeah, it's
shitting
gonna be-
myself running the tech on that.
You're going to be shitting yourself. No, it is going to be chaos. But yes, look out for folks from Trade and Tested, from the Eldritch Press, and from Roll Together as well. And we are still just about confirming the final guest stars of that. So yes, lots to come in November. But look, what an episode. We've waffled on far too long. Yeah, thank you for all the support. Thank you to my amazing players. We love you all. Stay safe, and we'll see you next time.